If you are hearing impaired, I am truly sorry.
I am Jacob, and this is
Nope, there
Idiot,
you go.
and
I
this is
feel
our
like
podcast where we do movie shit. We do movie shit? No, we talk about movie shit.
movie
One day,
shit.
you know.
One day we'll
Yeah.
get this intro down. We got the outro down to a key, but the intro though, the intro still needs work on.
Do you have the outro down? I don't think you do. You mess it up every time, every single time.
I mess it up every single time.
I can't hear you at all.
What do you mean? What do you mean mess it up every single time? What are you talking about? Why isn't yours
Oh,
down?
what? I don't.
Why isn't yours?
Um, Zachary, what is sitting in front of my face right now?
Nothing.
What is this?
Oh, give the illusion.
No, I will not. You technically can't talk without it. So next time, maybe don't come at me so hard. Okay.
You know
Okay.
what? That's fair. And since I did come at you so hard, the first story we'll talk about is something I know you're excited about.
Hold on.
I thought you were about to sneeze. All I saw was, oh.
Just a quick something. Just hold on.
What are you doing?
Oh, I wanted to quickly, before we get started, as this is normally when most people tune in, and I'm going to get you now than before. This is our 52nd podcast that was uploaded and recorded. As we have recorded probably over 100, but some die before they get there. It's true.
That's fair.
And I just wanted to say a big old thank you to everybody who tunes in, especially our audio listeners. You guys are a much bigger audience than our YouTube listeners, but we do like having a video for people who, want the visual representation, of course. And so I just want to say thank you. I know it means a lot to me and Zachary. Also, just want to point this out here.
Isn't April 26th our anniversary? Because that's when Endgame came out, isn't it? Correct?
What day?
April 26th. That's when Avengers Endgame came out in 2019.
I can tell you when our first podcast was. Our first podcast was April 27th, 2019. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's on Wednesday.
Yeah.
2019, 2020,
2020,
2021, 2022. We've been doing this for 4 years. Well, now I don't feel really congratulate us that we've only hit 57. 52 podcasts. Now I kind of feel like we didn't do enough.
See, we split it down the middle really well. For the amount of podcasts we do, we also contribute that to a lot of movie commentaries as well.
Promise to 50 for those, yeah.
So right there,
we're not there yet, but we're
close. So right there, that's an even 100 between the two of them. So we've done almost Jacob. But think about that for a second. We've done almost 100 shows together involving the two of us talking and/or watching about films since 2019.
And the first one
is that movie right behind you.
The first one was all about Avengers Endgame, non-spoiler and spoiler review, podcast number 1, where Zachary literally gave you the entire play-by-play.
Like the runtime of our podcast is the runtime of the film.
It's not. He did condense by the end, but it was a lot of. It was a lot of. They said this. Oh wait, and then they said yes, and then they said yes, and then they said yes, then they said this.
Man, should our anniversary podcast be the Batman non-spoiler spoiler review? And we do a play-by-play.
Well, if we did that,
then I'm down for it.
Then we should cancel this one and just wait and do one then.
Oh no! We're here now. No.
Okay, well then no. But I wanted to quickly shout that out. It was really cool. Didn't realize our 4-year anniversary was coming up, but here we are. I guess that takes the cake. Of course, Zachary had to one-up me. That was his one goal, and he succeeded. So it's fine. Okay, Zachary, go ahead and pick a topic.
Well, with it being, we're almost to 60 podcasts. We're almost to overall 100 videos within the channel itself.
Way over 100 videos.
But I figured we'd celebrate that with a topic that you'll like. I know you know more about this than I do. It's this one. If it'll show it, thank you.
Ah,
Fast
I
X.
actually have some interesting stories to talk about Fast X for.
First of
Um,
all, what do you think of the title?
yeah, it makes very much sense, and I respect it, and that's it. Are we going
When
to
I
go
saw
near
when I saw the font for this title, I was like, it's the X-Men font. It's the X-Men font.
uh,
They're all in superheroes now. It's X-Men font.
honestly though, like, also let's get real here. This is like the only franchise that's not a superhero franchise that is at 10 movies. You know, 11 technically, because the Hobbs and Shaw, which is honestly like one of the best ones out of the entire franchise, is not counted here for obvious reasons.
And we're not being facetious. Hobbs and Shaw is one of the best fast films ever,
Yeah, but a lot of people don't like it, and
which
it's
is insane to me.
there. It is. It's all
So
nice and shiny and
it's all
pretty.
nice and shiny. Yeah.
Kind of enjoy it.
So what do you so what do you know about this?
Oh, okay.
What's
So
your
I know
tidbit
a
that you
few
think?
things. I can tell you the cast that's coming back. They are started production on it officially. They're filming it as we speak right now. I don't know if they're in pre-production. I think they're past pre. I think they're actually like shooting it as we speak. Justin
Yeah.
Lin has returned to direct the next one, which I think is fine. I think Fast 9 was directed all right. Fast 5 is still the best one, and it was directed by him, so we have to give props for props to do. He also directed Fast 6, which is the worst one, so we also have to give props for props to do. And I mean, a lot of people don't like Fate, so I guess it really is just all your opinion. No one expected like Justin Lin to come back, and any of the beginner directors are definitely not coming back. So, you know, Jade Swan. I mean, are you muted? You are muted. I got you. Oh, can't unmute because you're guests because they chose to mute themselves. You chose to. You know, if you could fix that, that'd be great. This is a really
Hi,
weird,
I'm back.
awkward. Oh my god, he's here. You're having so many technical problems. I tell you.
I don't know
Son of a bitch.
why. All I did was update Chrome, and now my stuff's going to shit.
Okay, what was your question? I saw you word it, but nothing came.
I feel like I'm the only person in the world. No, that's obviously not true because how much money it made. That genuinely will speak about how much they enjoyed Fast and Furious 9
Yeah, I'm not that person.
on either
Which
version. You're not that person
which is a sad moment in the history of everything. Uh,
because you were looking forward to this film more than I was, and yet I'm the one that came out going, "Wow."
in my defense, the trailers really did ruin that experience for me personally. I'm gonna be a little more hesitant on those things moving forward. Also, watch everything before the movie comes out because I have an addiction, and that is Fast and Furious, and I will not stop, even though I know I should to enjoy it better. Either way, things people are coming back. Charlize Theron is coming back as Cypher. She is obviously the overall big villain. They confirmed this already. And then we also have Jason Momoa coming into the mix. He's going to be possibly playing another villain. It's not very uncommon for Fast and Furious franchises to have multiple villains per movie. Normally, one of them does turn good, so we can all assume here Jason Momoa is the one that turns good at this one.
Or he is just the villain that sticks around for the first half, gets killed off.
Yeah, which is
And
also possible. We have John Cena, who has not been confirmed. He did say he would like to come back to make a cameo, so maybe expect that. We also have Han. He was not invited. He was not a part of the script. We have Han and everybody else who was coming back. Mia was also what?
time out for a second.
Uh-huh.
Why make an entire movie about one guy? One guy. And then go. So here's this gigantic script for Fast and Furious, the finale. 8, 9, and 10. The middle chapter is all about the brother. 10. Forget the brother we just mentioned.
Well, we also learned in an Instagram post by Vin Diesel that Jordana Brewster was also not invited back. She was not also a part of the script.
The one Toretto to rule them all.
And he was very upset about this. And his daughter looked at him and said, "No Jordana, no Fast 10." And
She should be an executive producer over at Universal.
and so he went to Universal. He's like, we have to have a rewrite. Mia has to be a part of this film. So Mia is coming back. It was confirmed. And it was because of Vin Diesel. He said these movies are written for Paul Walker. It'd be weird not to have. Also, of course, we have the rumor that Paul Walker is coming back in the appreciation of his family, has personally asked for him to come back to this franchise. So it could be the first movie where he comes back past his death, which is obviously Fast 7 is all about, whatever. I personally am a mixed bag on this case.
How the hell are they gonna do that?
Well, he's not dead in the world.
No, but
so
how the hell are they gonna do that?
you bring back his brother, you do the same exact way as before. I'm assuming it would be like a final scene, as this is rumored to be the last one. There is also a slight rumor that 11 is coming, so we'll see. But with this possibly being the last one, I can also understand if they do like a nod to it, where they sit down at a barbecue, whatever, and he is there, because they can do that with facial stuff. I mean, we have the technology to do it. And it could be a line that he's already said, which is also fine. And will make me bawl like a fucking baby. And that's just the moral of the story. I also respect it a lot because this is his franchise. And Vin Diesel would not come back if Paul Walker wouldn't come back. I mean, it was them. Paul Walker would still very much be in these films if he was alive today, sadly.
So I have a wacky theory about Brie Larson. I've been thinking about this.
Oh, and then of course we cannot forget Captain Marvel is joining. I'm assuming this is a cameo role. Nicki Minaj was also in the last movie, and she's supposed to have an extended role here. Which
not Nicki Minaj, Jacob. Cardi B.
Cardi B. Oh my god, I probably just died somewhere on the internet.
You really did. Okay. It's sad that even I knew that you were incorrect.
Honestly, truly though.
So no, I have a weird theory. So this film franchise is all about family. And it's all about bringing in those random family members you don't find out about till the movie you're currently watching them in. AKA the Fast and Furious. That's all there is to it. So, what if Brie Larson's character, she is not mentioned by name the entire film, but we are constantly told throughout the movie that the FBI is helping Dominic Toretto with his mission to get Cypher. Her scene isn't until the end. It is a cameo. It's setting her up for a new franchise within the Fast and Furious. She is Brian's sister.
No, see, a lot of people are actually speculating.
That's not a good theory.
It's okay theory. I wouldn't say no, but like,
where else could they put her?
A lot of people are actually speculating at the end of Fast 10, we're going to do a huge time jump to when the kids are older to move on to the franchise for the children. And that
kid would this be?
She would be Brian and Mia's kid.
Don't they have a son too?
Yes, they have 3 kids. 3 kids.
So they're gonna pull a Friends and just forget about the one?
No. I'm sure. I don't know how interesting a movie would be with Brian and Brian, but like, can't go back on that decision. But yeah, that's Fast 10. Or she could just be a throwaway character. They've done that before. Who really knows? Brie Larson is a busy lady. So, well, she is a very busy lady. And I personally don't want someone added onto the team. The team is too big as we speak here. We don't need more people, honestly speaking.
Unless someone gets lost in space, and that's when she takes the place.
Or they get shot. Which, by the way, this is a really odd thing here. I was rewatching Fast 7 the other day, to cry, and which it succeeded. So we all need to know that it worked. But I was watching it, and I'd never watched the deleted scenes before. I owned the movie for forever. And what's her face? Gal Gadot was cut from the movie. She had direct deleted scenes, and she was a part of Fast 7, which I found to be really interesting.
And then, you have in Furious 9 where, Brian's friend, one of them who should have been smashed by a car and miraculously survives.
Oh, Tyrese. Yeah, I really do hope the God talk is over. I'm done with that side of it. I
I love
understand
it.
that there's always been religious elements. Honestly, I truly haven't picked it up until Fast 9. To the Fast and Furious, if you go back, oh, they've been there all the time. They've been there from
Mhm.
the beginning. I just didn't really pay attention. When they
God's
were
eye.
no, 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 no. Like actual, like, they're sitting down in the bed and he looks at his son. He's like, well, God's looking down upon you. And I looked at mine and I was like, God's looking what?
What is Dominic
Yeah, I
Toretto's
forgot. Okay, I
sister?
didn't really, I don't know. Either way. And Fast 9 really just was like right there. And then you have like the whole I'm invincible, I can't die, which honestly, like, they kind of should do something about that. But like, I'd also be really interested. Obviously, not Mia or anybody a part of the direct family. But I would be really interested to see some characters get killed off. I think it's been long enough. A part of the reason why they decided not to kill off anybody is because sadly Brian tragically did die. If you did remember movies before that, they were killing off characters left to right. Literally, no one was surviving. Literally, they were like, "You want to die? Pow! You want to die? Pow! You want to go flying into the mist and no one will ever see you again? Pow!" You know.
Pow.
So I wouldn't mind having some characters die. I think there's some pretty good ones here. I think it'd be really funny if it opens with Tyrese dying. You'd be like, "Gosh dang it, I am not." you know. All right. Well, that's Fast X.
I have
Zachary.
I have no input.
Zachary.
I this is a small one, but I think it's also really cool. So it takes two in a rock and the Rock. So I don't know if Jacob knew about this, but
Hurrah.
the Rock's producing company is going to be making a film based on the acclaimed video game from 2021. It Takes Two. It'll
He's
be
not a part of it.
he is right now being eyed to star in the film as well. I think he'll be the narrator,
Oh,
not one of the actual main people, the narrator of the story. Which I think he fit the narrator of the story pretty well because the narrator of this game is very overbuoyant and very loud, and so I think The Rock fits that pretty well.
sure. Yeah. I get that.
And so, Game Informer did a article on this about 3 days ago, so I will bring it up. Dwayne the Rock Johnson and his production company Seven Bucks Productions will produce the movie treatment for Hazelight Studios' It Takes Two, which reports that not only is Johnson producing the movie, but is being developed by Amazon. So it is not being developed by any major lead studio. It's going right through Amazon Studios. So this will
Amazon,
be
I'd say, is becoming a bigger studio as we do move forward.
but of streaming wise, this will be, this is a huge get for a streaming company because this will be the first video game film through streaming, through a major streaming company, which I think is interesting. It's set for an Amazon Prime Video release or perhaps theater premiere, with Amazon has done for some of those other films before. So if they have confidence in It Takes Two, there will also be a possible theatrical small run through the theaters as well, because Amazon's done that for numerous films underneath their banner as well. Johnson will produce the film on behalf of Seven Bucks alongside Danny Garcia and Herman Garcia. DJ2 Entertainment and help produce as well. Uh, he is. He also starred in the film, but the obvious not official yet. So there are reports of him going around possibly starring in it, but there are right now, as of no, uh, on confirming if that's true or not. Again, if they do hire him, I hope he is the narrator of the story between the two going through their marriage crisis with their child. Um, I watched a streamer play this together. Jeremy and his wife play this together. This game is phenomenal. This game is so good. It's just a fun game to watch someone play. Like, even if you don't want to play it, it's such a fun game to watch play simply because of how well done the story is. It took the Game Awards Game of the Year achievement last year in December. It won the BAFTA for game. It was the runner up for Game of the Year at the BAFTAs, with for Horizon Zero Five Forza
Mm-hmm.
winning over there. So I think the story is ripe for a different kind of video game film. We never really get. There's no real. It's not really like an action based set game. It's more of a family drama set within a child's imagination. So I'd like to see like how like the animation style would be if they do like a stop motion animation style to this. Would they do like a traditional CG? Would this be a 2D thing? How would this go about? Live action elements? I don't know, because some of the set pieces within this game would be very interesting to see done live action. So I would be curious to see
Yeah.
like what direction they would take, and how this, and I understand why, Amazon probably looked at this as a good get. I think other studios look at this and go, we don't know how to do this. It would be too big of a budget. We might lose money on it. Whereas Amazon can go in and go, we can spend between 100 $120 million on this little film with $7 with Dwayne Johnson. See how it goes and put it on Amazon Prime and go, there you go. So I think this is all interesting. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I would also, as much as I don't really personally want him to star, it wouldn't be my top choice of any characters. Maybe the narrator, like Zachary said, it does make sense. He does have the same kind of bravado. The game is amazing.
Yes.
I did play it when it came out. It
Did you
was
do
a
it?
while ago. I think.
Did you do it
Huh?
solo? Did you do it solo?
I did. I did do it solo. I don't play with people. You know this, and
What does this
I
mean?
did. Yeah, I did do it solo, and I still thought the experience was great. It's obviously a two-player thing. Solo is really hard, so I do recommend you do this as a co-op game. It's really hard. It's like really hard, but it was still very fun. The story's great. I think it's really interesting. I wouldn't spend too much money on it, and I would maybe put him as a background character. I do think he should star. It's freaking Dwayne Johnson. I would put him in this movie for sure. It's been proven time and time again he does sell movie tickets. It's just
That's
the
true.
honest truth.
Yes,
So
this is true.
yeah, I would actually personally, in my own opinion, say that they should do a smaller film in this regard, kind of like what they did for a Monster Calls,
Ooh, I like that.
and maybe shoot for awards.
Okay.
I think this could be a pretty good awards contender. Amazon has a pretty good repertoire for making awards contenders. Obviously, I'd be interested in making other stuff, but I think this could honestly, if you get the right actors to play it, it could definitely be
To me,
awards.
it's whoever they choose as the director of this film.
Yeah, I think the director
It's
is
a,
also extremely important.
it's a. I think this should be, if they do animation, a dual directing. I think would be really good on this film. Uh, but I think it all depends on the directing and the script. Actors here or say there go, it doesn't matter to me. But to me, what works so well about this game, and I think we can both agree on this, is the story elements to it. Like it's a great gameplay experience as well, but the story of it takes two is what really,
Yeah,
brings you
that's
into
why
the
I
game.
say that
The
it would
script
probably
has to
do
be.
your script writer, and also because the directing is so interesting with the video game itself. There's a lot of
Mhm.
inspiring things. It's from an indie. It was from an indie publisher. Indie publishers do have to cut corners, and so they have to get really creative when making games like this. I think you would probably want to maybe try to rubber. I don't want them to go spend $100 million on this, and then it kind of look like your basic type of situation.
I
Like
agree.
I feel like if you get a director who can spend $15 million and can do it really well and can put everything on screen. You get two amazing actors, three, amazing leads or whatever. I can't remember exactly how the game is told. And you have the narrator as Dwayne Johnson, which I think would work really well. And him being your huge star, and you get some smaller name stars that don't cost as much.
Absolutely. That I completely agree.
That maybe there's a lot of actors who've been Oscar nominated who do not work because they are not looked upon. And maybe you get one of them to star, something out of those lines to have, and you make a really, really good tiny indie film that blows everybody away. I think
Treat it like
that's probably
treat it like the game was treated. Treat it like
yeah.
go for that indie route. Because say let the narrator of the story, whether it be Dwayne Johnson or be your big name actor for the film, because he's the more fantastical character of the four main leads you
Yeah.
deal with within the game between the child and the two parents. The narrator is the more fantastical one of the four. So let that be your big name actor for whoever you can get, and let the other three be small names coming within the story. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yep. That's my opinion. I think that's probably the way I would do it if it was up to me. Also, I don't really think this movie will personally. I think it has the opportunity to do well, but I think if you go down the awards route, I think it will do much better.
I completely agree.
Also, I think because of how well received it is, it's an extremely well received video game. Almost everybody who plays it loves it and tends to cry. It's a whole moment. I think I think you have to have it respect. And I think if you just make a by numbers video game film, I don't
But you,
think the respect will be there. I mean, look at Rampage.
yeah,
It's a fun
but
ass movie, but it's not respectful.
I think that's let's look at Sonic for a second. You know, they took material, they respected from where it came from, and yet were able to treat it as though it could still work as a film. Like you get like your Sega fans and your hardcore Sonic fans in there, but they're still able to maneuver around that, saying
Yeah.
here's your Easter eggs and cameos, but here's a film within that makes sense and everybody can enjoy. It Takes Two is different than any other video game, in my opinion, ever been made. Simply because you're not going for like a point A to point B adventure movie. The most important thing about It Takes Two is that it's a family drama more so than a action adventure story. It's more about these two people getting through their woes and their highs together through the mind of their child. And so that's to me what I think will elevate this film even more. It reminds me a lot of the Lego movie, in the fact that in that film, the child in that sense, created this world to get his father's attention, and he just wasn't seeing it. And by the end of the film, Will Ferrell's character goes, "Wow, I used to love this when I was your age too. Let's do this together." And that creates, them having their bonding experience. And through this
Yeah.
version, it's their child using their imagination to show them through her drawings, how it feels to be on the outside of watching you two fight constantly, and how I wish you guys could just, show it takes two of you to work through a relationship and not just one of you.
To be fair, um, I was thinking this was a different game
Oh,
for this entire conversation.
now you know what it is.
I googled it because I couldn't remember what it was rated. I have ever watched. I don't know if I played this one. I've ever watched someone play it. I know I've seen the whole thing, so I must have
Mhm.
did something with it. Maybe I did play it. Let's. I won't say no, but I don't know if I go down my route that I was just saying. Maybe make it like 50 million and get a little
There you
creative
go.
with it. Yeah, wrong game, similar concept in its
Yeah.
defense, but spend a little bit more money with
But
it.
do you see where my
But
family
still
drama
put
thing makes more
respect.
sense now?
Yes. Yeah, I see. This is where I got really confused. I was like, family drama. I really don't remember there being a family drama with the game I was thinking about, and there wasn't one, and that's the moral of the
The
story, and it's
entire
fine.
game's about
Yeah, no. This one, yes. Now I know what this one is now. So yeah, I would say maybe spend 30 to 40 million, still get two amazing leads, have the narrator be Dwayne Johnson, same thing, have a creative director behind it, but that way you could do the amazing set pieces and you can go all out. But you can also still put it under that serious while still kind of kid fun type of
yeah.
situation here, and you could still do an awards centered film. I don't think that takes away from anything I said before. I
No.
just think maybe go about it a little bit
You know who
differently.
I could see
I would
directing this?
also say get a director who has played with VFX before. Do not get a new director. Get an already well
I
made.
was just about to say that. You know who I could see doing this movie? The director of Bumblebee.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. You need someone who's going to come from the animated background. I do
Yes.
agree, but someone who's already had a project in live action, because I think Bumblebee could have been better if it wasn't his first project in live action. I think if Bumblebee was made now, and let's say this was his first project, then maybe I think it could have been better. It's a very hard change, especially if you're using VFX and things like that, and that has great potential. And because we've seen him with his anime directing, I think he would definitely be able to make this a creative film while also sticking to the books and still making an enjoyable movie for everybody to watch.
I
Yeah.
agree. I'm
Okay.
very excited. I'm very excited about this project. I think if we continue to hear good things about them bringing in the right people, I think this could shape up to be a very, very, very interesting and also special film by the time we get to the release. I'm guessing somewhere probably around the years 2024. I'm thinking probably a couple years down the line, maybe 2 or 3 years. So
Yep.
they can get everything rolling pretty quickly.
All right. Well, that's that.
Um,
Let's hit a big
this is a
topic.
let's do. You want to do a bigger one?
Yeah. That way we
All
can
right.
make sure we get to a few of them.
Okay. Would you consider the one underneath Depth v Herd?
Just pick it.
Okay. So I have it right here.
Okay,
This is
that's my
this
next
so
question.
so this week, coming up April 24th, actually starting today, 24th through the 28th is the week of Cinemacon in Las Vegas. This is where all of the movie theater chains get together and the studios come in and show them a big presentation of what they're bringing to their theaters for the next year, all leading up to the beginning of 2023. So starting on the 24th tonight at 6:30 to 8:30 will be Sony Pictures. They'll be doing their big presentation. I do not, Jacob. While I'm reading off who's coming, can you bring up a schedule of films by company and see what everybody's bringing
I-
out? Or
Yeah, I was looking it up as we were talking.
thank you. So can you bring up Sony? I don't know what all Sony's doing the remainder of the year because Spider-Man with Spider-Man gone, I don't know like what the rest of their big tent poles are for the year. Um,
I'm looking. Let me let me see here. Okay. Sony Pictures Entertainment is opening night on the 25th, so that's tomorrow.
my bad,
Not
not today, the
It's
25th.
okay. It's at 6:30 tomorrow. Um, and I actually don't know what they're bringing. Sony Pictures Entertainment kicks things off with an exclusive highlighting its upcoming releases.
Oh, I
Sony has a
have the
whole. You have the
I
schedule.
have I have
I
the
don't
schedule.
know. Let me see
I
if
was
I
wondering if
can't.
you know.
Yeah, Sony Pictures upcoming movies. I can try to
y-
Google. It's somewhat
Yeah,
hard to
bring that down to a hard pass.
yeah, like an actual. Okay, so the big ones that are coming out this month. Let me see here. Oh, see, I don't trust you. Wait, somehow I trust Wikipedia better. Don't ask me. I don't know. So we have upcoming. This is from July onward. I'm just going to read you to the end of the December. This is
Hmm.
between Sticks, their actual like normal like brand or whatever. They have a few other smaller brands and stuff. So I'm just gonna read them off to you. And there's a very good chance that some of these could be brought up in this discussion. I think the biggest
Okay.
one here is the second one, but we'll get there. So we have Where the Crawdads Sing, which is a words contender, hopefully, by Hello Sunshine, which is a
When does it come
Coper
out?
that comes out July 15th. July
That could be
29th
shown.
is Bullet Train, which is
Yes, that
obviously, I would say, the big one.
I could see
Um,
them showing off a trailer, probably the next trailer for Bullet Train, probably.
October 7th is Lyle Crocodile.
Animated
Crocodile.
movie.
I don't know. I just have the titles.
Gotcha.
I don't have any information. I'm sorry. October 20
Possibly.
October 28th is Devotion, which I'm pretty sure that is a um oh, I know who I remember who started. I can't think of it. But I that one has a big star in it. I can't remember which. And then December 25th is A Man Called Otto, which is another supposed a words contender as well. So
Gotcha. So
that's
I'm
it.
thinking probably Sony's probably big get for the for Cinemacon probably end up being Bullet Train. I'm thinking like we'll probably end up seeing probably possibly Brad Pitt there with the director showing off maybe some footage for them, exclusive footage, and then us as the audience outside of Cinemacon getting probably a trailer that day for the movie.
So I do have a little bit more information. Lyle Crocodile is an upcoming American live action animated musical comedy film directed by Will Speck and Josh Gordon from the screenplays of William Davies. It's adapted from a children's storybook of the same name, and it stars Shawn Mendes, Javier Bardem, and Winslow Fezzle. If I click on, there's more information. The
That'll probably end up being shown probably.
Devotion is an upcoming American action war drama film by Jake Crane and Jonathan Stewart, directed by J.D. Dillard, based on the same book, starring Jonathan Majors, Glenn Powell, and Joe something. I'm going to Joe Allen. And then obviously, A Man Called Otto is a comedy. I don't want to call this a comedy, but okay, a comedy drama film directed by Mark Foster
Ooh.
is it's another adaptation of A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman, which is a huge film. It was already made in Sweden as well. The film will star Tom Hanks as the role. I highly doubt there's going to be anything for this just because it comes out in December, but there might be like a cover reveal or something. It's
Well,
a very like sad movie.
I could see them doing something possibly because Tom Hanks is going to be at CinemaCon for Pinocchio for Disney. So I wouldn't see why Sony wouldn't take that opportunity to promote the film just a little bit to get a tease out there for it. I could see that becoming a thing.
Maybe I don't know.
So the next one after
Oh, Joe
Sony,
Jonas is in Devotion.
ooh,
That's who it is. Jonathan Majors. Christina Jackson, Joe Jonas, Gwen Powell. So there you go.
So the next one after Sony would be on the 26th, and it would be at I missed it completely. It's at from 9:15 to 11:30. It's a small, it's a shorter one, but
Oh,
it's Neon.
Neon. Yeah.
And I
Neon.
guarantee you, David Cronenberg, his new movie with Viggo Mortensen, Kristen Stewart, they're gonna show something for that.
So excited for that. Oh my god, it's
Jacob,
gonna be so hated. It's gonna be like one of the
Jacob,
most hated movies. I cannot wait.
I couldn't watch the teaser.
You couldn't watch the teaser?
No, I couldn't do
Oh,
it.
really?
No. Jacob, you know me and Cronenberg, we have our ups and downs.
I love David Cronenberg. Not a lot of people do. In their defense,
I
not a
mean,
lot of people
I,
do.
I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time is Jeff Goldblum's The Fly, and you know the immaculate body horror in that movie is incredible.
Hold on. I have a question.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen Titan?
the one about the girl screwing the
Dude,
car.
no, don't give it away. It was just more like a yes or no answer here. This is much more of a movie where you either you know or you don't know it. Have you seen it?
No,
Okay, just gonna keep that in mind. That's all. We're good. Okay. For their list, I looked it up. By the way, good place to find this stuff is Wikipedia. Who would have guessed? Can't trust it for anything except for movies, apparently. So they have Pleasure, which is how do I say this? It's about a woman who is going
I think
to
the title says it
America
all.
to make her debut in porn.
In the
We're
porn
just gonna
industry.
we're just gonna be honest here. Porn industry, and it's a very graphic portrayal of it. Think like Deep Throat, which is a very known
There's
film.
a trailer. If you guys want to know what we're talking about, there's a trailer on online right
Down
now
the
you can go
line,
watch.
yeah.
It's a fascinating trailer. Like it shows a very different version of what that industry looks like and how it ultimately affects the personalities that they deal with. It yes, it'll be a strong film with a lot of stuff in it, but I think the overall message of the movie will be a lot stronger afterwards. I
Yeah,
it,
and it's also
it
it's based on a short that was
yeah,
already filmed, but it's getting turned into a bigger, wider film. Uh, I think here's the thing: most people are going to watch this for one reason, but it's going to be
unfortunately
not really talked about. Is
for the other
my
reason.
best guess. It also doesn't really look well made, and that's just its own fault. The next one
Really,
that comes out,
you don't think it looks well made?
I don't.
I think
No,
the cinematography looks pretty good in the trailer.
I don't know. I don't always watch everything that Neon puts out, so I can't tell you
Would
if
you put
I'll
Neon and A24 on the same category of
weirdness.
shorter?
Yes.
Not on weirdness, more on like they're not really in it for like money making. It's more on like the auteur side of letting the director kind of
Yeah,
take
I
the
mean,
route.
they're the ones who made, like I said, Titan, the worst person in the world, which is like one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Neon Demon was them, right?
Um,
Was Neon Demon Neon Pictures the one with
no.
Elle Fanning?
Oh yes, that's not what that's called. But yeah, that's great. If you've never seen that before, is that what it's called? Is it called Neon? It might
Yes,
actually be called Neon Demon.
it's the
But
it's
yeah,
the Neon Demon.
that was actually one of the first ones I've ever seen. That and I Tanya were the first few that I've
Was
ever
I
seen.
Tanya Neon?
I Tanya was Neon.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep. But that's great. If you've never seen, I do want to mention if you do try to go looking for any of these movies, I Tanya is fine. But any of these like weirder movies I keep bringing up, Neon Demon is made to be slow motion. The entire movie is taken down. It's like 2 notches slower than anything else. It's supposed to be. It's the way it was shot and things. So it's like a 2 hour movie that's actually like an hour and like 15 minutes, 20 minutes or something like that. It's really hard to watch because of it. It makes you extremely nauseous. It's part of the point, but it's about
Mhm.
the modeling industry, which is part of the reason why it was made. It's extremely graphic. Please look up its trigger warnings. There's one scene that involves an amazing actress, and I just can't believe they asked her to do it. And they did, and she went for it, and I just, I'm still here.
But
I'm, I'm still here.
that's Neon. That's Neon A24. They always ask more above their actors than typical studio work does.
Pleasure. You know what I mean? So we have Pleasure, which is May 13th. Chira, which is an Italian language drama. This is the third film in a trilogy.
Wait, what's it called?
Akira.
I thought you said a
I'm
chair.
no. It comes out May 27th. I got nothing for you.
Cool.
Um, and then obviously we have the one that they're most known for this year, which is Crimes of the Future, which comes out in June, which is David Kornberg's brand new film.
How long has it been since his last one? Like almost 2 decades?
No, he just did one not that long
No, I feel like
ago.
it's been I feel like it's been a long gap between this
Let me
one and
see here.
Crimes of the Future. I feel like.
He just his last one, I'm pretty sure, was the one with Maps of the Stars in 2014. That's the one with
I've heard of that
Julianne
one.
Moore, Robert
Yeah,
Pattinson, and not Mia, the other one who reminds me a lot of Mia Goth. I can't think of her name.
I got it. Dang it.
Um, and he also did Cosmopolis, which is
The Rob Pattinson movie?
Robert Pattinson movie. That was him. That was Robert Pattinson's first indie film that he did when he was trying to
Real?
make a name for himself. Was a David? Yeah, he wrote and directed that and produced it. Now, Crimes of the Future, he did not produce, but he did write and he is directing it. It will star Viggo Mortensen, Leah Sidorix, which is from she's most known from No
Bond.
Time Bond. She's the Bond lady. Kristen Stewart, Scott Speedman, and several
I
other
think
people.
I think the two names that'll get people out to see this movie. Leah Sado, yes, but to me, it's Viggo Mortensen and Kristen Stewart. Viggo Mortensen hasn't done a movie since The Green Book, and Kristen Stewart's coming off the high of Spencer, so I
Yeah,
think those two will instantly bring people in to go watch it. Also, it's Cronenberg. He's one of the very few directors still that can bring an audience in with his name.
I
Even if, for
personally,
most curiosities, for most curious reasons, his name will bring someone into the theater just to see what he's done.
I don't think a lot of people are gonna like this movie.
I don't think so either.
I don't think a lot of people are gonna go see this movie. I think this was
Nope.
made for the award ceremony, and also cult. I think those are the two big
I
things
think
here.
this is for the hardcore David Cronenberg fans. I think that's what this movie is
Is
predominantly
it
going to be
because it's
for.
a body horror? Is that
Yes,
why? I didn't really find it that disturbing.
Jacob, you don't find a lot of very disturbing films disturbing, so your compass of morale in this situation really doesn't count.
I can't not agree with that statement. But
If I name any film right now that's on deemed as some of the most
hey,
intense
that's not true. There's
horror
a few
films
out there I
ever,
will never watch again. I have seen most of those
but
movies.
to some people they are too much. To you, they're classic Tuesday. Hostel,
Not
Hostel
a
Part Two.
Okay, Hostel is not Hostel Part 2, I think, is on a lot of people's lists on that regard. But I think when people talk like, okay, there's a new one coming out, which I don't know if I'm gonna watch or not. It's called The Sadness. This is off subject. We told ourselves we weren't gonna do this, but here we are. You know what? We'll talk about it here in a minute. Let's continue onwards. This is obviously they're gonna talk about the David Cronenberg film. What's the next list, Zachary? And then we'll
Next
do a
one
10-minute.
after that on the same day is from 4 to 6 p.m. and it's Warner Brothers.
Okay, Warner Brothers should have a
Boy,
whole
oh
list.
boy, that company's got a lot to show with everything because of all the transitions and then.
Okay, Warner Brothers. We're gonna go through the ones that I think are most likely to pop up here. We have Elvis, which comes out June
Obviously.
24th. We have DC Super League Pets. Well, I don't really know if this is the place to show it, but they also
No.
showed last year. They showed Clifford, and it was really, really received at Cinemacon. So you never know. You never know. Isn't that really interesting that Clifford was like really well received? This is also the place where they really well received
Dune.
Ghostbusters Afterlife and Dune. All those movies premiered here, and everyone got a standing
And
ovation.
Shang-Chi.
Oh, it's a Shang-Chi also. I guess that would make sense in the
Shang-Chi's
timeline.
first live premiere for an audience was at CinemaCon.
We also have other ones that are coming out. These ones don't have any posters, trailers, or anything for it. Salem's Lot, which is a remake. Don't Worry, Darling, which is the new Florence Pugh movie coming out with Harry Styles, directed by Olivia Wilde.
So good.
Has a tiny little teaser there, but it's
Go
also
watch
coming.
it. It's so small, but it's so good.
We also have Black Adam and Creed 3, with Shazam the Fury of the Gods being the last film for Warner Brothers. We also have
So
House Party and The Father of the Bride, but they have pluses by them. So I'm not really sure if
so I think they're gonna show footage from both Black Adam and Shazam. I think the audience outside of CinemaCon will get their first teaser that day for Shazam 2. I think we'll get our first official trailer or teaser for Black Adam. And I think we'll get our first either look or first poster for Creed 3.
I'm not sure about Creed 3. Black Adam is a possibility. Don't worry,
I
darling.
think
It's also
Shazam.
maybe a possibility. Anything past of September makes me a
Mhm.
little worried. We're still really far out from September. Anything past DC Super League Pets is past that. I think this is where they're really going to promote Elvis. And like I said, there's a possibility it could be DC Super League Pets, just for the simple fact that it has been known to do really well to like
Do they
animated
give
flicks.
update? Do they give up? Do you think they'll give updates on Dune Part 2?
They could also talk about when Dune Part 2 is going to be starting. It's supposed to start production in June, is the rumor. So we will see if it
Also, do you
happens.
think they'll confirm Florence Pugh and Butler as the two new cast
Yes.
members?
It, I don't know if Florence Pugh, it depends if they'll talk about Don't Worry, Darling, but they could
Yeah,
say, hey, this is Elvis. This is going to be a part of, he's going to be a
he's also
part
the
of
prince.
in Dune. It's very possible. I do believe that he and Florence Pugh are very much guaranteed to be in Dune Part 2, which is so
I hope
exciting.
so.
It would be, oh my god, Dune Part 1 was an okay movie. Dune Part 2 could be like one of the best movies in cinema.
Ever made.
If I get one scene with Florence Pugh and Zendaya, I truly think I will literally die right
No,
there.
you get a scene with Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Timothy Chalamet, and Butler all within the same scene with each other. All four
See,
of them.
Butler, I've seen a lot. I've never been really impressed with his. I think the best he's ever been looks like to be Elvis. So we'll see how I feel
I'm
about
so
after I see
excited for
Elvis.
Elvis.
All right, what's next?
So after Warner Brothers, this is for now. This is only for CinemaCon, but the first official screening of the Black Phone from 8:30 to
Ooh,
10:30 will be at CinemaCon. Blumhouse and Jason Blum will be there for a Black Phone screening. Both Scott Derrickson and Aaron, Arthur Arrow, Ethan Hawke are expected to make appearances at CinemaCon for the Black Phone.
I would also like to mention with CinemaCon, because we were just talking about like screenings or whatever. Both Ghostbusters Afterlife and was the only one. It was a surprise screening. So if you happen to be able to get to go to CinemaCon or anything like this, where studios are coming to present, this is
Hmm.
mostly for industry, so you have to be working in the industry. But if you do get the opportunity to go, there is a chance you could see a movie early. Black Phone is obviously announced type of thing.
I have
There's
one
movies like that
more.
as well. So
I have one more for CinemaCon. I have one more advanced screening at CinemaCon. There's one more, but we'll get to that. It's later down the list. The next big one is on Wednesday,
Disney.
April 27th, and we have the Walt Disney Studios special presentation.
All
Now,
right, give
this
me.
is where everything can go either kind of quiet or absolutely insane. I already have a major prediction for Walt Disney's thing already. They've announced it. I say we get either a release year or them being on stage together. Deadpool 3.
I don't know. I don't really know if CinemaCon is the place to do this. Plus, with certain things that could possibly be happening in a little bit of time, um, Deadpool might become more and more important of a conversation. We'll see. With in a few weeks or so, won't mention anything else past that. And so it might not be. They might not want to announce it yet. Like I said,
Wakanda Forever.
maybe. I think the likeliest chance, and this is being honest with you, because they decided not to show 411 Thunder's trailer here at CinemaCon. They decided to release that early. I would say you have a good chance of anybody sitting in that theater seeing Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness.
That's already been confirmed. It's not happening. It's
It's
too
not
close.
happening.
Yeah,
Well,
it's too close.
eh. Well, other ones that are coming out. Let me run through these real fast. I'm only going to do Walt Disney, not Searchlight, just because most of Searchlight's pictures are going directly to Hulu. So it's
Hmm.
not really necessary talking about them, in my opinion, just because they're not having theatrical releases, which makes sense. It's you can still put them up for Oscars, even if you are not like going. So for Walt Disney movies that are coming out in theaters, we have.
This also includes Disney Plus movies as well. We have to remember that.
Oh, I wasn't going to talk about those. I was just going to go through the theatrical releases.
Well, they're going to be there for Disney Plus as well, because there's also a good chance that these Disney Plus films could change over to theatrical. There's also a good chance.
Okay, sit back, Zachary. We have a lot of movies to go through, and I'm going to do a fast run through. Okay?
Approve or disapprove Disney. Up, down for these movies. Let's go.
No. We'll have approve, disapprove later on in this episode, so we don't need to do it for. We didn't do it for anybody else. It's not fair. We can't.
But this is longer.
And this is much longer. It is.
See, but so it makes us get faster.
No. So May 6th is Doctor Strange 2. May 20th is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. That's going to be on Disney Plus. May 27th is the Bog Burgers movie, which will be a theatrical release for Memorial Day. I'm running through them all. It is. It's coming out. That's happening. It's the opposing for Top Gun Maverick. June 3rd is Fire Island. I have no idea what that is. When I think Fire Island, I think gayness, so it could be gay. June 17th, it also could be about fire, which would not be gay. So June 17th is Good Luck to You, Leo Garade. There we go. June 17th is also Lightyear. July.
So I think we'll get a clip from Lightyear.
Oh yeah, I think Lightyear is a high possibility. July 1st is The Princess. Oh, really? That's really interesting. I know what that
generic. Is it just a movie about all the princesses?
No. This is a Fox Studios. This is Joey King's new film where she is going on a murder spree as a princess. So, July 8th is Thor: Love and Thunder. Honestly, I looked up the creative team behind it, and I really questioned whoever decided to agree with it. But that's besides the point.
I don't think we see. I think they show the trailer again for Thor.
They could also show an exclusive clip. They could also release a new poster, a better look at Lady Thor, or not Lady Thor, the Mighty Thor is what they're going with, which makes more sense. Or Gore. All these are possibilities. Gore has leaked. You can look him up. You can see what he looks like directly.
If you're a Marvel Legends collector, you already own Gore the God Butcher.
See what I mean? They really need to get a handle on that.
I know, it's a bad thing.
August 5th, not okay. Sorry.
That's just a bad thing.
Sorry, it really hit me like real hard. But that's besides the point. Oh, so we touched Joan O'Brien. Oh, I know what this is. Okay. September 9th is a movie I cannot pronounce, and yeah, that's that. September 23rd is Prison 77. October 21st is The Banshees of Inisherin. November 4th is Canterbury Glass. November 11th, as you can see here, a lot of these are 20th Century Fox. November 11th is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Basically, Disney is just releasing Marvel movies, and that's it. It's the moral of the story here. November 18th is The Menu. November 23rd is Strange World, which is another Walt Disney. This is animated. This is their new animated movie coming out for Thanksgiving. Which I don't think is going to be there, but it's possible. And then lastly, we have December 16th, which is Avatar 2.
Avatar 2, I'm telling you, will have its first teaser shown to Cinemacon and then put in front of Doctor Strange.
That's very possible. I do agree with that.
Where the fuck is Pinocchio? Tom Hanks is going to be at Cinemacon for Pinocchio.
Pinocchio is not on this list. You mean Netflix's Pinocchio?
No, the Disney one, the live action one, coming to Disney Plus with Tom Hanks playing Geppetto.
I got nothing for you, Zachary.
This is not a made-up thing. This is a real thing.
Fire Island is a retelling inspired by Pride and Prejudice. It's a retelling inspired by Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. I'm assuming gay is not happening. No. So
all right,
we're all sad here.
Fire Island and no Pinocchios to 4:15 to 6:30 on the same day. We have Universal Pictures and Focus Features invite you to a special presentation featuring footage from the upcoming slate.
Oh my god, Zachary, could you talk? Because I don't think you did. There we go.
This one obviously is Jurassic World. I mean, Universal Fast 10
hold on.
next year. They've got They've got.
I have a
they've got
list
other shit.
for you. Like, holy fuck.
But it's but it's Jurassic World.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me run through these. Okay, another fast one. All right. Fuck, a lot of people are picking shit. Like, shit's happening. So, going through it. May 13th is Firestarter. That's the
Stephen King.
Stephen King one. It is being released simultaneously on Peacock, by the way. That was announced. It's a Peacock and a release in theaters. Interestingly enough. It looks like it's gonna be basic, but I will go see it for Zac Efron. Yes, I will. The little girl can't. I don't want to say she can't act because she's a young actress, but I've seen her act, and it's gonna be interesting. Let's just put it that way. Let's hope for a nice
Isn't
slim
she in the
runtime.
movie with Chris Evans, where she's really smart?
No.
No. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
She is.
I just made a massive screw up. That's the girl from Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I was actually just
Grace,
listening.
I'm so sorry.
I was just listening to her brand new song that just came out, McKenna Grace. So no, not her.
She sings.
Oh yeah, beautifully.
What else?
Totally look her up. She's a prodigy. It's a prodigy. She plays a prodigy on Young Sheldon, and she is a prodigy in real life, and that's just the moral of the story. So, Firestarter is 110 minutes. That was a choice. I would say maybe another round of edits before that comes out, is my opinion. So, June 3rd, Watcher.
Not your opinion.
June 10th, Jurassic World Dominion. June 24th, The Black Phone. July 1st, Minion, The Rise of Gru, which honestly looks really funny. I like the new trailer.
You know what's sad? I asked somebody recently at work, like, are you excited for the new Minions movie? Like, didn't that come out already? I'm like, how long's it been since the last trailer came out?
There was one that just came out in preparation for July 1st, and it did look pretty good. We saw it in theaters when we saw The Bad Guys. July 27th.
Are you still excited for Minions, though?
Yeah, honestly, you should look at the trailer. It really made me like it's about something completely different than I actually had any idea. So pretty excited. July 22nd is Nope. August 5th is Easter Sunday. That's a missed opportunity. Just gonna put that out there. August 19th is Beast. August 26th is Samaritan. August 31st, On a Wing and a Prayer. Yep. I don't know. September 16th is Distance. September 23rd is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
This looks so good.
September 30th is Bros. October 14th is Halloween Ends. October 21st is
I love how in the span of 20 minutes we've mentioned films called Pleasure and Blows.
Bros, not Blows.
Oh.
Bros. It could be about blows. Oh my god! This is the gay comedy. This is the gay romantic comedy. That's what this is. That's what this is. That's gonna be so good. I'm so excited for that one.
Oh, the ironicness of being incorrect is so funny sometimes.
Yeah, that's the gay raunchy comedy.
Oh.
I'm happy that we're expanding.
Oh, cool.
October 21st is Tickets to Paradise. November 18th, She Said. November 18th, 13 Lives. Double feature that one. November 23rd,
She Said 13 Lies.
the Fablemans. December 2nd, I don't know. December 2nd, Violent Night. December 21st, the Untitled Mario film.
Oh, God.
And that's how they're ending the year.
Wait a minute. Why is there an Untitled Mario movie? Just call it Super Mario Brothers. Why is that such a hard concept?
I got nothing for you.
Super Mario. Listen. I love cinema. I love Hollywood. They're getting so bored with titles.
There is literally a movie about Easter Sunday coming out in August. I just can't get over this. What a missed opportunity, that one. You couldn't release it on Easter? Let's see here. I'm just looking to see if there's anything of interest. Ooh, Distant could be good. It's American science fiction comedy drama filmed by Josh Gordon and Will Speck, starring Anthony Ramos, Naomi Scott, and Zachary Quinto.
Ooh.
That could be good. It looks like it's probably is going to be me. It's by Ambulance Pictures.
Oh, Ambulance?
Yeah.
Ambulance Pictures.
Good movie. It's a good movie. Obviously, we talked about Bros. Um, we have Tickets to Paradise, which is George Clooney's new movie with Julia Roberts, Billy Ward, Catelyn Denver, and Lucas Bravo. It's a romantic comedy.
That was
Let's
funny.
see here. Oh, Tony Kushner, Steven Spielberg. That's The Fablemans. Is a semi biographical coming age drama directed by Steven Spielberg.
So that's his next movie after West Side Story, huh?
It is. It is. Oh my God, West Side Story. Sorry.
You know what? You know what's going to happen with this movie? Jacob's going to watch it, probably think it's amazing, and once again think Steven Spielberg's directing is on point, even though he doesn't like the dude.
I just think
West Side Story in a nutshell.
I just personally feel like he says way too many not good things. Somebody's talking out of his ass, and that's just the moral of the story. All right, Zachary, who's next? That's Universal. There can't be too many more studios.
Oh boy. So April 28th. So next up is hang on, I gotta go all the way up.
I got you. I figured it out.
I got it. This is my thing.
Yeah, I might just have the schedule pulled up as well.
This is the other big one. From 9:15 to 12:15 p.m., Paramount Pictures Studio presentation, an exclusive screening of Top Gun Maverick. Finally, after 2 years, Top Gun Maverick will be shown to people in its full.
Oh, okay, and then we have that one. Okay. So, obviously, we have Top Gun Maverick. They're going to talk about Top Gun Maverick. Moral of the story. Oh my God, that's who's releasing that? Interesting. Sorry, I got distracted. So, I'm going to run through these. Some of these, if you guys don't know, Paramount likes to sell their movies even though they have Paramount Plus. It's just something they do.
Which is why Jackass 4.5 is on Netflix and not Paramount Plus. Explain that one to me.
Well, that's based on, like, you know, contracts or whatever. But either way.
What contract? Jackass 4 went to Paramount Plus after it came out. It didn't go to Netflix.
Yeah, but that's because it's a Paramount Plus exclusive. It's like Top Gun Maverick is not going to Paramount Plus at all.
What?
Yeah. What's his face? Tom Cruise is like, you're not putting me on a streaming service. So they didn't put him on a streaming service. Or he's going to take them to court. It's part of the reason why.
No, after it comes out of theaters, it's going to Paramount Plus.
No. He was very, very, very dismayed about it. He was like, I am not going on a streaming service. You're going to put me in the ancillary market, and that's the end of this conversation. Maybe in 5 years down the line, it'll show up, but it's going to be a late bloomer. That's for sure.
That's really sad.
And that goes for all of his, including Mission Impossible, the whole 9 yards. So, May 13th, Senior Year. That's a Netflix movie, but it's going to be pop up on Paramount Plus. May 27th, Top Gun Maverick. Obviously, they're talking about Top Gun Maverick. No shit, Sherlock.
Obviously, they're showing it there.
July 15th is Paws the Fury, the Legend of Hank. Zachary, do you know what Paws the Fury is?
Samuel L. Jackson plays a dog who's a kung fu master.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. I was real shocked by it. Sorry. Moving on.
Trailer looked dumb.
It looked okay in theaters. River thought it looked kind of funny, so I'll probably take her to see it. You know, honestly, Samuel Jackson as a dog, it makes me interested, that's for sure. You know, just because he looks so into the movie. Like, he's, like, really there. The guy's like, is that Samuel Jackson? And they're like, that's Samuel Jackson. I was like, Samuel, did you have to make a movie for your grandkids? Is that what's happening here? Because that's what it felt like. He had to make a movie for his grandkids. So, August 5th is Luck, which is going to be released by Apple TV. Secret Headquarters comes also off August 5th. We have November 11th, which is Spellbound, which is also getting released by Apple TV. And
also, real quick here, back to Disney. No Hocus Pocus 2?
No. But that doesn't have a release date. These are all release dates.
October? Hocus Pocus 2 comes out in October.
Yeah, but there's no actual release date. It's just October. Pinocchio also might not have an actual release date. It might just have a release month, which could be the reason why it's on this list, since it's not confirmed. Just Put that out there. November 11th is Spellbound. December 25th is Babylon. And that's it. That's all they wrote.
Well, Paramount would have had more films. They didn't push a certain movies all the way in 2023. Could have got Transformers this year, but it's fine.
They're still filming it. Don't be a dick.
I'm not.
Be a dick? Yeah, you are.
And then the last one is
Oh my god.
Lionsgate.
Babylon, hold on, before we go to Lionsgate, I just did the gay thing. I'm sorry. I don't know if that was caught on camera. But Babylon is the new David Chazelle movie that stars Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie with Tobey Maguire as an executive producer. This is going to be a great film. It's going to do absolutely horrible. Could be nominated for great awards. Sorry,
and
David.
And then given the award for Best Picture when reality went to another film. Ooh, too soon.
No. So Lionsgate.
Lionsgate's got John Wick Chapter 4, and that'll be the big one they have.
Actually, we'll see. We've been real surprised.
They
have other ones. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Were you just saying that, or is that the title of the film?
Yeah. Okay, we have April 29th.
That one got you, but the other ones didn't. That's the one that got you.
Hold on.
Dear God, it's Me, Margaret.
April 29th, 2022 is Fortress Sniper's Eye. September 16th, 2022 is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. October 14th is Whitebird, A Wonder Story. And October 28th is Devil's Light.
Wait a minute. What's the movie called? Whitebird, A Wonder Story?
Yes, it's directed by Mark Foster and written by Mark Borack, based on a graphic novel, and it's a spin-off prequel to Wonder. Oh, Wonder. Oh, I know what that is. That's the one with oh fuck, what's that called? What is his name? Jacob Tremblay.
Wait, Wonder's based off a graphic novel?
No, Wonder is based off a book.
And it's getting a prequel movie called Whitebird, A Wonder Story? Who'd they get their titling from? Star Wars?
Also, fun fact, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, is an American comedy drama film written by Kelly Furman Craig, based on the 1970 novel same name by Judy Blume, starring Rachel McAdams. Howdy, you had Doctor Strange too. You could have said no. Fortress Sniper Eye is also known as Fortress 2, which is the brand new Bruce Willis and Chad Michael Murray based on their first film that they did together. I know that. That's one of his final movies that he's doing. That's kind of sad.
Well, I'm going to watch that just to watch it for him.
Also, the first one wasn't that bad. Chad Michael Murray can't act for shit anymore, but, it was fine.
What do you mean? He does a great commercial.
Well, some people, that's all they're good for, you know what I mean?
All right, that's Cinemacon. Jacob, what are you hoping we get? What are you hoping to see? What do you think will be there?
Honestly,
what's your most look forward studio?
I kind of just forgot about everything and anything in general, so I got nothing.
Let's just move on to the next topic then, shall we?
Well, hold on. Okay, because I wanted to tell you about this movie. We're going to come up here and talk about random shit for 10 minutes. That way we can at least get to this segment, and then we can move on to other segments as well.
We're just doing this now, huh?
Oh, yeah. I want to tell you about a zombie flick.
What's it called? We Eat Brains?
No, it's actually called The Sadness. You were talking about earlier how I don't really have films that I watch that I put people through, like Hostel 2 or whatever, that are extremely dark, depressing, disturbing films that most people can't sit through, right? Where I find a list, top 10 most disturbing, depressing films people can't sit through, and I watch every film on that list and rank it based on the top 10, if it's actually worth it or not. I have seen movies such as Martyr, Siberia film, that type of thing that most people cannot even fathom, putting in their dish tray, let alone sitting through the entire thing. If I was a dick, we could watch like Martyrs, but I'm sane. Like I don't want to do that again. You know what I mean? And so here comes the sadness, which is supposed to be one of the most graphically violent zombie films of all time, disturbing zombie film of all time. It's a Canadian director is directing. It's a Japanese film, I think, about was made. It's based off a graphic novel, and it's gonna be on Shutter in May. In case you guys have Shutter and this is interest to you, I highly recommend looking it up. I looked it up because I was curious, because obviously that made me curious, and so I was like, why? It's a zombie film. People are gonna get ripped apart. It's always fun, but like, you know, I can't really talk about why here on the internet. So if that gives you any idea, but it was made because the pandemic. Um, it's about the pandemic, and it's in like it's like one of those like tales of like if COVID-19 was actually a zombie apocalypse type of situations, which sounds hysterical. But I watched someone watch the movie or have a review of it, and it's not hysterical at all. She was actually her mouth was open. She's like, I don't know how to describe this to you. It's just scenes, like really well made scenes of extreme torture, just in a zombie film.
I'm good.
So yeah, we were talking about crimes of the future and stuff, body horror, that type of thing. This one doesn't look really well directed. I watched the trailer for it. Then once I realized the one thing was in it, I was like, yeah, no, not for me. I draw the line. I do have one. It doesn't pop up very often, but it's there.
It's like the finest line in the world. Like it really like something really has to pop off Jacob's radar for him to go, nah, I'm good. Speaking of popping off your radar and really making you like a hissy fit mad, talk about Dying Light 2. I'll sit here and listen to this story again. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Well,
Let
Dying Light 2 is not worth your time. It's about 40 hours. If you speed run it, I think you can get through it in like 20. It's real hard. I watched someone do it, or I watched someone. I sped through the video of someone trying to do it. I should say I did not watch it again because I did not want that type of pain, and it was not worth it. It wasn't worth it. The story is horrible, and that's what I came down to, which is kind of sad because I like some of the characters, but there's no payoff to any of them. And Rosario Dawson did not come to play, even though it seemed like she did. I can't tell if it's based on character design. Is that the reason why I don't like her? The way they have her designed, because it wasn't very flattering, or if it's just the fact that she just did not maybe 40 hours is too much of Rosario Dawson. I don't know. I can't tell you. But I did not finish it. I still have yet to beat the game. I rage quit in the last 10 minutes of the game. Who does that? I do that.
And this can all be seen on his Twitch.
It can. It'll be in a YouTube video in like 6 years. And yeah, I did not like it. Things I did like though, I saw 2 movies, which I wanted to mention here as well.
And I heard about both of them.
Little mini reviews. One was better than the other, which is kind of sad, but it's fine. So I saw The Unbreakable Weight of Massive Talent, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on with the box office breakdown. It did moderately okay for a Nicolas Cage film, and it was moderately okay for a Nicolas Cage film. They didn't really show you what the movie's actually about in the trailer. So if you see it, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it might be worth looking up the actual plot, because then you can have expectations of what you're actually watching instead of what you think you're watching. I was thinking cute romance movie, and I didn't really get a cute romance movie. I did, but it was weird. Yeah, it was weird. Also, they had such amazing chemistry, and I get it. Nicolas Cage is not gay, but there's a scene, I don't want to spoil anything, that involves him kissing somebody else in the movie. That's all I'll say. And sadly, that was not Pedro Pascal, which is still not a spoiler, which you would think would be. It's not. And I thought it was a missed opportunity because the chemistry was way off the charts. They need to do another movie together. That's how much chemistry Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal do. Fucking phenomenal. Also,
and this made you excited for Last of Us now, didn't it?
Pedro Pascal, I have seen a lot of. I look back at his movies. I think I've seen everything Pedro Pascal has ever been in. Unintentionally, but I was there. And this is the best I've ever seen him in his entire career, is this movie. Like this is Oscar level. The movie itself is not, but his performance, which is kind of sad because you would hope it was Nicolas Cage, is Oscar level, and I think Pedro Pascal did overshadow Nicolas Cage in a very zany Nicolas Cage role, which is interesting.
So what was the one you actually enjoyed?
So the one that was better that I do recommend is The Bad Guys. It's an animated flick that just came out. Was number one at the box office, deservedly so. Very small,
And
but
it's also number one on the internet for other reasons, but continue.
wait, why is it number one on the internet for other reasons?
Think about what the movie is and think about certain people online.
Yeah, got no clue.
What's the animated film based about? A bunch of animals,
Uh huh.
people online who like animals, put
Oh.
it together.
Oh. No. Maybe. Honestly, in a different light. This written by Seth Rogen. I could go there. Yeah, I could see it. Why are we having this conversation?
I don't know.
Either way, it's about these 5 animals that are animals that have a heist. It's a heist movie. If you like Ocean's 11, it's a good one to go off of. You know, Ocean 11. We're just gonna sit here and watch my brother die a little bit inside as it happens on the internet. This is random shit for 10 minutes. So if he spits everywhere, it just great segment. It's a great segment. Look how chubby his cheeks get. Don't you just like go over there and liquid everywhere. Oh.
Okay.
That was a bit of a choice. It was really good. I thought it was really sophisticated. I thought it was really adult, which I really liked. River looked at me at one point while watching the movie and said, "Should I be watching this?" Which I really enjoyed that fact. And yeah. Also, the amount of dead animals in this movie is kind of ridiculous, and I kind of also enjoyed the fact that they went there. They were bad guys. The snake really liked eating things, like a lot. A lot. So yeah, it also reminded me a lot of Minions. You know how Minions has that really extremely dark humor to it?
Yeah.
Where it's kind of funny, but you're also like, are we really gonna be joking about hanging ourselves right now? You know what I mean? That felt very similar to this. And there's a breakout scene towards the end of the film that has like one of the best choreographed like action sequence in an animated flick I've seen in a long time, which also means it's a must. If you are an anime person, if you like animation like at all, I could not recommend this movie enough. I do want to mention you've seen one heist film, just one. You know everything. There's no twists. There's no shocks. There's no nothing. Don't go in this for the.
You're just going there for the animation and the acting, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, the acting. Oh my God. Anthony Ramos as the piranha.
Wait,
I would
he's
take
a piranha?
Yeah, he's a piranha. Yeah.
He's just a fish?
Uh-huh. Anthony Ramos is the piranha. Aquafina is a spider. She's basically doing her Ocean 8 impression, is essentially what's happening here. And let me see what else is there. Scott, not Scott. What's his?
Thank you.
What is it? What's his name?
I'll come in and get him in a little bit.
What is his name?
Yeah.
What is his name?
Our podcast. I will.
Who's the lead? Who's the lead? I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Sam Rockwell.
Yep, Sam Rockwell. Mac Moron, which is the snake, is doing an excellent Al Pacino impression.
Al Pacino. Finish his name.
No, Al Pacino. That's it. That's all he gets. Al Pacino.
Oh.
Cheen. Cheen.
I'm tired of hearing you say the word cheen.
Cheen. Zazie Beetz also does a good job, and Alex Bruston is always amazing when she is a part of it. It's great. It's funny. It's really funny. It's really good. Animation is beautiful. Also, this is another movie where the shark stands out. Honestly, this movie should have came out before the Suicide Squad, so people could understand how actually King Shark should act, and then we could actually have a good movie. Oh, sorry, did I go there too soon?
Suicide Squad's fantastic movie with fantastic spin-off series called Peacemaker. Go watch them both.
I would say skip both, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Did I go there?
That is just you.
Fuck fish? I don't think so. Well, speaking of fucking fish. Well, honestly, we could go into two different scenarios here. Which one would you prefer?
Oh man, let's do that one. No, the other one.
Oh, this one just straight Jason. Okay.
So, Jason Momoa is building a new franchise for Warner Brothers, and it's not Lego, but it is blocks. Jacob, what have you been playing constantly?
Oh right, I did hear about Minecraft getting a live action adaptation. Jason Momoa.
And here's your star.
Honestly, I respect it. I think they need to bring. I think this one could be really zany. I think if they could do it like a Free Guy way, I think it could be really good.
What do you want from a Minecraft movie?
What would I want from a Minecraft movie?
Mm-hmm.
An epic tale of adventure trying to defeat the Ender Dragon while making sure everybody stays alive, but they all die. Ultimately,
with really good adult jokes.
With a hardcore. Honestly, here's the thing. I say we take the same concept of the Lego movie. Okay, Warner Bros. Picture. It's about time we redo it, and we just slap Minecraft on it. Yeah. And I think that's it. Yeah, little kid playing Minecraft, logs on, forgets they turned on hardcore mode, goes on an adventure with his friends in this amazing server that they built up together. They do fast mine because it's kind of funny, and they have like the lags and stuff, which is very much part of the game. And then at the very end, they're fighting the Ender Dragon, and they all die one by one, and it's hardcore, so when they all die, the world is destroyed forever. But in reality, someone accidentally clicked the wrong button.
Jason Momoa is playing that kid.
And I think Jason Momoa should play the Ender Dragon. Just kidding. No. Like Steve. Yeah, he should play Steve. Which is the generic male
Could you
version.
imagine Jason Momoa's voice coming out of Steve? Steve doesn't talk in Minecraft, so that would be your first introduction to a voice.
Steve does talk in Minecraft if you're playing Minecraft story mode, which Steve is a player of. So it depends on what version of Minecraft you play. I think this would be really cool if they get people like Dream. Like I said, I would say maybe do a mix of the Lego movie means Free Guy, so you have people who actually play the game being able to showcase inside. It's a little cringy when you watch it, but I think it's worth it because it's such found respect and things. Where you can also like do it like Lego movie where it's more appropriate for like all audiences. Whereas I feel Free Guy somewhat, there's a lot of things in there that it's funny and like older people can, like younger kids can watch it, but like it's not like the Lego movie where the broader appeal is. You understand what I mean?
Right.
That's my personal opinion. And I think Jason Momoa is actually a pretty good fit for this shit. So yeah, I saw a lot of people hate it though. I'm a very, very like in the black here.
Well, to be fair, also you're probably the lightest Minecraft player because you literally just started getting into this stuff because of a certain 7-year-old that we know.
8. She's 8, but I also was into Minecraft before River, but that's okay. I will tell you because I figured since we're talking about Minecraft, currently I have put in 2.5 days.
It's sadder that I know that's roughly about that time because you delayed how much time you were going to tell me this.
Yeah, 2.5 days worth of Minecrafting in about a week. But when I say 2.5 days, I mean over 48 hours.
And how many hours in The Sims as of right now?
Oh, like total? Hold on.
Not in total. Not in total. Just this week.
And then you wanna ruin me? Let me tell you the total.
It's so off subject.
It's on subject. One day The Sims will get turned into a movie.
What movie would The Sims be?
Honestly, you could say every drama ever made was The Sims.
Isn't
Romantic
Free Guy
comedy.
technically isn't Free Guy technically a Sims movie?
Nah, Free Guy's more like a Fortnite movie. Free Guy, the game that they wanted to create in Free Guy, is more like a Sims movie if the Sims actually behaved, which they don't. So it doesn't. If The Sims 4 was a movie, it would be called Glitch. Also, horribly updated. Also, it breaks every time you play it. Also, you need mods in order to enjoy it. Also, what? Play better games.
I hope no one from EA watches our podcast.
If so, give me free codes.
Not after that ringing endorsement.
I'm up to where I have played 5,757 hours of The Sims 4. I last played it on April 21st, which was exactly 4 days ago. I did. I don't remember that, but I guess I did. Good for Jacob.
Well, this is also the day after 420, so.
Oh, no, it's because I played it that night. There's actually a stream of me playing The Sims 420. You know, respectable. And if we divide that by 24, oh my god, I put 239 days into The Sims.
Minecraft sounds interesting. Let's move on to another one. So Jacob, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this one specifically, simply because I think your input on the business side of things genuinely I think works better.
I guess. Thank you.
And that would be the Netflix streaming disaster. So.
Oh, I have a lot. That's not Netflix, Zachary.
Oh, that's wrong. Right church, wrong pew. Jacob, take it away.
Honestly, very similar, for being honest with you. A following of a career, the death of someone, same difference. So Netflix, a streaming disaster, is going to get turned into a Netflix film, probably.
No, it'd be funnier if one of the other ones got to it first.
I think the moral of the story is kind of scary. We thought we were going into the age of streaming. Well, the age of streaming lasted 2 years. We killed it.
Way to go.
It was a fun time, while it lasted. I think it's going to end up being like cable in the way of where we'll have 4 big streaming distributors. Netflix is obviously not going away. It's definitely going to be a little less crowded over there. Don't expect a movie a weekend. A new TV show? Maybe not. Kids animation? Probably gone. Anything that's animated, you should probably say goodbye to, sadly. They are trying to close doors on every animation division that they have over at Netflix because it's so expensive, which is really fucking sad. I'm looking at you, Arcade. You better not get canceled because of this stupid thing.
Oh my god, I forgot that that's the one that. Oh no.
It's possible. It's really expensive to make. It's like really expensive.
Someone's going to pick that back up if they don't take it. Someone's going to.
I don't know. Either way, basically, if you guys have no idea what we're talking about and you live under a rock or you just don't follow movie news and this is how you get your movie news, I respect you. Let me tell you. Let me update you on the situation.
As they live underneath a rock.
Hey, I could be that rock. I'll live underneath you. Sorry.
It takes 2 and a rock.
I'd like to be in that sandwich.
Jacob, talk business.
So, Netflix had a little bit of an issue. Little bit of it, just a little bit. Its stock dropped tremendously when it had to announce its quarterly subscriber count. Essentially, what happened here is that it lost 200,000 subscribers instead of gaining 2 million, and is projected in the next quarter to lose 2 million subscribers. They really jumped the number on that one. Hopefully, I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot of workarounds that they can do here. They're going to put out an ad version of Netflix. What is the world we live in? And I do have a strong feeling in like a few years from now, we'll have a microtransaction Netflix as well. I don't really understand what that would go towards, but I do believe so. Also, password sharing is definitely not going to be a thing in a year from now. The issue that we came into,
Yes.
um, like the big issue is the simple fact that we have practically,
I'm okay.
uh,
Thank you.
we practically just had a cap on the amount of people who are willing to subscribe to anything. That cap is around 220 million people, by the way, if anybody was curious there. So Disney Plus, HBO Max, Paramount Plus, which I don't think is going to survive. A lot of these streaming services I don't think are going to survive. Disney Plus, I do think. Netflix, HBO Max, I do also think. And then Prime, because Prime is one of the top people out there because Prime comes with your Prime subscription. And you're paying for Prime, you're not paying for Prime videos. That makes sense. Like that's why they're allowed to raise the prices because people will pay the amount of money for that. I do think that I think people are tired of having to pay for 6 different streaming services. They're also churning. If you guys don't know what churning is, that word right there, that means you leave like Netflix for a month and you go over to Disney for a month. You leave Disney for a month and you go back to Netflix. I also will say Netflix will probably get away of binging content. Part of the reason why Netflix is having such a struggle, in my opinion, is because Disney Plus, you have to be subscribed for the 6 weeks that Moon Knight's on. That requires you to be subscribed 2 weeks afterwards, unless you can always come in after Moon Knight's over and binge watch the whole thing. But if you want to be a part of that conversation, you have to be there every week, type of thing. I don't know how well Moon Knight is a great show to announce that. Now it is, but it wasn't. I'd say towards the beginning, more like WandaVision and shit like that. Game of Thrones is a perfect example, and things along those lines. You have to be subscribed to that streaming service in order to show up. So I do think Netflix for like Stranger Things and things around those lines, the really big ones, I would say they're probably going to like a weekly release schedule instead of releasing them daily, or just all together. I do think you'll probably go into the lines of maybe like 2 an episode, 2 a week or something like that. You see TV shows, kids TV show specifically on Netflix doing this already and having pretty well success with it. Obviously not talking about, but they do tend to be in the top 10, normally relatively high. So it does work.
Cocomelon.
Cocomelon is a perfect example. Those episodes are like an hour and a half. Who the fuck watches that for that long? Who knows? Either way.
2-year-olds with no attention span.
Or lots of attention span. That's an interesting insight on society. Is streaming shows making like kids have more patience or less patience?
Focus.
Sorry. And so yeah, this is an issue. It's also an issue for every other streaming service around them because now we know there's a cap. People will stop paying for you. Obviously, another issue is that Netflix is getting so expensive. Also, Netflix is running into a little bit of a problem with spending more money than it can chew, which is very telling to other TV shows that are going on right now, such as We Crashed, and there was another one that just happened as well.
The Dropout.
The Dropout, thank you. They're very similar in those situations where people are like, give me money, I will make you something, and then they didn't like reward them, such as things like this. Netflix has spent over $1 billion worth of content this year. I think more than that, maybe like 2 billion or something. And they obviously don't have that money.
Clearly.
Overall. And I don't really, because you're like, oh, that's 200. They saw like 226 million subscribers. That's a high number. It's a high number to us, but it's not a high number to stock. Stock is where Netflix gets the majority of its numbers. Stock is also, this could be the reason why Wall Street crashes again. It's very possible. I think we have learned not to put all of our eggs in one basket, and that movie theaters are truly not dead. And yeah, I think as the world opens up again, we'll soon learn how much money people are willing to spend on content they can watch at home. With more and more things opening up, more and more things lifting mask mandates and other stuff like vaccine mandates, whole 9 yards, more and more people are going to come outside the house. More and more people are going to go and do things. And that means that, hey, we can't pay for Netflix 1 month, but we can go to Kings Island. Or we can't pay for Netflix 1 month, but we can go on a trip to like Ireland. You know what I mean? 2 very different price changes, but you understand my point here.
Good God. One's like a simple, $60 incursion. The other one involves, flights, hotel packing,
I get
trip plans.
But But what I'm saying here is that they could be like, oh, I want to go on this trip, but I can't pay for 7 streaming services and still go on this trip because I have other bills and things like that. And so they'll cut out the streaming services. I know, like, this weekend is a perfect example of people not willing to spend money with a new movie coming up. This weekend was one of the lowest weekends for box offices in the entirety of this year because of Doctor Strange 2 coming out next weekend. A lot of people spent a lot of money, me included, on Doctor Strange 2. I just spent more money on Doctor Strange 2 like 2 days ago. So, yeah, I think Netflix is a similar thing here. Is that I just told Zachary when I move and I actually, am doing things or whatever, and I'm paying for more bills, Netflix could be the only streaming service we have, or it could not make the cut. I have not decided yet. And with Netflix producing so much content, a lot of that content is not good.
No.
Is the moral of the story. They are throwing money like it's no tomorrow at bad ideas or great concepts and bad
Not executing
executions
them.
or anything like that. And I think it's being shown and shown again. Bubble, that just came out on Netflix like the other weekend, is a perfect example of that. It was a horrible movie that should have never been made. I'll say I was looking forward to it. I thought it looked pretty funny. I like watching movies under the lines of like in fight movies like that. But it was a really well, horribly made movie. Not funny and kind of unwatchable. Actually, it was unwatchable. Yeah. It reminded me a lot of
I could have told you that. Oh
it's
wait, I did.
it's okay. It reminded me a lot of like, movies such as like Morbius and things like that. So yeah. That's Netflix.
Okay. So here's my 2 cents on all this. Obviously, this is Jacob's favorite thing to talk about simply because he loves the business side of movies. He's definitely on the business side. I'm more on, the creative side of it. I like things, being made or whatever. That's Jacob's forte. But from a business perspective, freaking Disney, I'm not Disney, Netflix needs to understand cost and expense. And right now they don't. That's Netflix's biggest issue right now is they do not understand cost and expense. They're willing to spend all of this money on countless amounts of hours of content, but not realize how it's going to cost their subscription based services in the end. I think people, when Amazon came out with The Boys back a couple years ago, and it was a weekly thing, people didn't like that at the time. But if you look at the numbers now, people appreciate the weekly based content because it continues to be within the conversation, which is why I still say that even though Stranger Things is going on against Obi-Wan on the 27th, Obi-Wan will be the continuous one talked about even after that Friday, simply because every day, every Friday at Wednesday, after
Wednesday.
that Wednesday, Obi-Wan Kenobi will continue to be talked about because the show will continue. Stranger Things will be binged on that one day and it'll be done. No
And
one
I'll
will
be
talk
back in
about it.
July.
Exactly. So, and even though Stranger Things has longer episodes this coming season, the budget's bigger. They had a great trailer just come out for it. It doesn't matter. Netflix will put out a great trailer for its content, release it all 6 episodes or whatever, and then it's done. We talk about it for
I
one day,
also
and then
I do think this is really interesting. You brought up a great other thing that I think they're going to end up doing. Part of the reason why Netflix can release so much content at once over and over again is because a part of the thing that costs a lot of money is advertising. We talked about this before. A movie itself, a big movie, Doctor Strange and things, no matter the budget you spend on, you have to add 100 million to advertising normally.
mhm,
We can see things happening, changing, such as for releasing a trailer so late that advertising technically doesn't need to start until they release a trailer or a poster or whatever. And so you're going to see more movies, I think, doing the same exact thing where they're going to release it closer and closer to the actual release date of its movie
yeah,
because they're so expensive to advertise. But Netflix does not advertise shit.
no,
You don't know something's coming out? Well, now you do because it's on because it's on Netflix. Um, for instance, this is a really weird thing to bring up, but Barbie just had a new TV show that came out like a weekend or 2 weekends ago, and they didn't announce it was going to be on the streaming service until 2 days before it came out on the streaming service. Or they have a trailer for a movie. They had just a trailer for a new Victoria Justice rom com that the movie comes out in 2 weeks. Like, I mean, this is a very short time period in between, and they only have one trailer, and sometimes we'll get
That's it.
poster, not always, and then they'll be good. With things like Stranger Things or whatever, they'll promote it just a little bit more. They'll probably go on a circuit, but that's about it, and then they'll call it a day and move on.
They'll
It's not,
promote their they'll promote their heavy hitters, but the other shit they'll just put out, hey, look, it's here or whatever, and then be done with it. And to me, I think the biggest disappointment about all of this, and we've just seen this from the beginning. If you've realized this, Netflix will do a three and done or even a two and done on any of their shows simply because of the numbers that they need. Like our show, Santa Clarita Diet, 3 seasons, should have got the fourth, but the numbers weren't there, so they got rid of it. And that's what I think, Netflix's biggest issue is. They put out too much content to where the shows they want to thrive don't have the moments to thrive enough. You
you
know,
have that one
um,
weekend, and that's it.
yeah, the Atom Project. One
It's
of the
doing really well.
honestly one of the best to me. One of the better movies that have come out so far this year. We got one trailer for it, like 4 weeks in advance, and is it still talked about? Yes, but not as often as it should have been. Whereas Disney will put out something on Disney Plus, it either be a weekly show or they'll promote the shit out of it before it comes out on Disney Plus, and that's continuously talked about. Advertising is my favorite aspect of the movie industry besides creative, simply because it shows how much care and effort was put into the project after it's done, and it shows you where the studio lies within that project. And to me, advertising with Netflix shows the fact that they don't care what they put out. They don't. As long as the project that they're promoting does bring in extra numbers for their subscriber base, they don't care. They don't care what content they put out, as it shows. Since this is the lowest drop in stock since what, 2004?
Yes.
And so, and if you looked at it, as soon as Netflix's stock dropped, all of the other major streaming platforms stock dropped a little bit as well. Spotify, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Apple TV, all dropped because of how significant it is that Netflix is now in the shitter. And so I completely agree with Jacob. If numbers don't increase at all, I guarantee you by the end of May, there's going to be some serious issues over in Wall Street. It's going to be bad, and it's all because Netflix again puts too much. And but this is also, like we talked, like you mentioned, people not putting enough faith in movie theaters or in other entertainment based content. They're so focused on streaming right now that when you put your focus on too much on something, you're relying on the fact that it'll maintain its base that it currently has. You know, the streaming wars were not going to last long. I think anybody could have predicted that. They were not going to be, what everybody was predicting it would have been. Because if Netflix falled, the rest of them would fall after. And I completely agree with you. The four that will remain after all is said and done will be HBO Max, Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime. The other ones I think will be sub brought into the other streaming services. I can totally see Apple TV coming into Amazon Prime.
No,
I could
see with Apple,
see
well, no, with Apple TV, I think Apple TV will still be around. I don't think that's going to change whatsoever. I think with Apple TV, what more than likely will happen is that Apple will start selling their TV shows and their movies and things for you to be able to
to the
buy. No, for you to be able to
uh-huh.
buy with Apple. Like, because Apple is still like a
Uh,
very big project, like, whatever. So I think it's just more under the lines of,
okay, fine. Things like Hulu,
yeah,
Peacock, those ones. I think Hulu will finally be brought into Disney Plus. I think the parental guidance code on Disney Plus is more of a thing now that Hulu can go into their subsequent thing, and that can be part of its thing. Peacock will end up probably selling most of its major films or whatever or streaming slate, because if you looked at Netflix, as soon as The Office left and went to Peacock and Friends went to HBO Max, their numbers tripled down simply because people were more excited about the non current original IP. It was The Office and Friends that kept most people. So as soon as The Office left this past year, their numbers doubled down because it went to Peacock, and Peacock's numbers rose up because it had The Office
yeah.
again. HBO
Well,
Max, when it launched with
kind of.
Friends, it launched up with because of Friends. HBO Max had a massive beginner base because of Friends.
Speaking of HBO Max, it did come out because the Batman getting released this weekend, or this week
It doubled, didn't it?
on it. had, well, we're not entirely sure because the numbers we can't really trust that are being announced for the Batman because it's not like a reliable source. But for a subscriber count, which they did have to announce because their quarterly update, they did gain 3 million subscribers to HBO Max, which is great because HBO Max is an amazing streaming service. If you don't have
Yes,
HBO
it
Max,
is.
I highly recommend. Like, for instance, Pacific Rim the Black, which I know a lot of people are really, really looking forward to in the anime community because of how well animated it looked, came out this weekend. Did anybody know that? No.
Not only did it come out, it's its last season.
Like, I didn't even know it was like out to begin with, type of thing. Like, this is like,
Ultraman, the other big Japanese anime coming out for Netflix was Ultraman. Season 2 came out. No one's talking about Ultraman, even though Ultraman was one of the biggest things out of the pandemic last year. Everybody loved that the CGI hybrid 2D style Ultraman show. No one's talking about Ultraman Season 2. Same thing Pacific Rim the Black. No one's talking about it either. Because again, they don't advertise enough. They are proprietary to the binging thing, and it's going to continue to lose them customers. And to the people getting upset about the ads versions of these streaming services, HBO Max already has one. Disney Plus is going to
Plus
have
already
one by
has.
the end of the
Yeah.
Disney
Does it
Plus
not
will
have
have
one?
one by Disney Plus does not have one right now.
Oh.
It'll be released during the summer. I'm probably guessing. Peacock, Hulu, all of these streaming services have ads. This is not a new thing. This
Yeah.
is not a brand new thing Netflix is going into. But it's the only way Netflix can keep their house open. Here's the biggest thing when it comes to this. The biggest thing. HBO Max, Disney Plus, Apple TV all have Walt Disney, Warner Brothers, and Apple behind them. Netflix is its own thing. There is no massive company behind Netflix. They have to maintain their money on their own, which is why this is sad and hilarious all at the same time because Netflix put themselves in their own situation they're currently in. No one else did. It was them. And so I understand from a business point of view why the ads version of Netflix will be a bigger get for them in the end than a non-ads version will. That'll be a
More
constant ad revenue
interesting
for them.
enough because a lot of people have talked about how they have dropped Netflix, period, because of the price range. Netflix this month, when I had to pay, it was $21.22 has gone up $4 in the past 6 months, which is a very big difference. They don't tell you. This isn't like they're announcing, oh, it's going to be, they announced when they hit $20. That was an announcement they made, but anything above that, they did not. When I started taking over Netflix, it was like $14 a month. That's not super bad. That's a pretty good number, I say, for a streaming series or streaming service and things. But with the constant, line of content and things, they kept raising the price without telling people. And it just get higher and higher and higher, and now it's up to like whatever I told you it was. And so a lot of people are like, I don't want to do this anymore because it's so expensive. Disney Plus is still extremely cheap. It's one of the it's the cheapest one, I'm pretty sure, out of everybody except for like Hulu with ads. Hulu with ads is
Mhm.
like $4 a month. And so it's very cheap, and so I don't really know when they'll have an ad. I think we'll probably see a higher price range before we see an ad. I don't think they'll put an ad one on there until we get to one. But Netflix back in 2019 announced that they would never have an ad version of Netflix. The company creator, the executive creator, or whatever, was like, we're never doing it. We're never going to stoop that low. We'll never have an advertisement version of it. And here we are today, where they kind of need one. It also could be that the brink here is that everybody password shares. Our whole family is under a password share. We all use the same Netflix. We all, it's all under like one. I pay for it, but then we pass out the accounts or whatever. That's going away. They're testing out 100 million different accounts across Netflix are getting restricted over the next month or so, 2 months. I can't remember what the rollout is. And they will require you, if you are sharing a password with somebody else that is not the payer of it, you will be restricted from using that account. So you have to pay for Netflix, type of thing. Or it's
Now
going to
would
cost.
now would I get that requirement or
Yes.
would you? Because I'm still the email under Netflix.
Yeah, but I think it's super. I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll have to wait and see. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, we'll have to wait and see, type of thing. But with that being said, this is something that if it does really well for Netflix by cracking down on this, which has been a problem for years, and And a lot of people have said, Netflix specifically saying that they didn't want to crack down on this because a lot of families have accounts and things like that, and it brings in a lot of people, and things are those lines. They just hit the brink. They can't go higher. They have to go higher. Disney will do this. Hulu will do this. Everybody will do this. And so next thing you know, password sharing is not a thing. If you want to use your Netflix account and it's not underneath the same TV, same household, which is the thing. Like if I pay for it and it's underneath this household, everybody here can use it. But because you're in a different house and a different IP location, I'm assuming that they're going to go off of, you
Yeah.
cannot use it. Does that make sense? Like Peyton couldn't
Yeah.
use it type of. If you're not in the same house, you cannot use the same Netflix, which I'd say it's going to be very, very major. And I'm going to see a very big backlash to it for sure coming up.
They're gonna lose. They're gonna like what Variety is saying. They're gonna lose another 2 million subscribers once this happens, simply because half their subscribers aren't subscribed to Netflix because they're using password sharing.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes on. But that's the Netflix streaming disaster. It just truly is streaming disaster.
If Netflix truly cracks down on password sharing and that becomes a thing, how many subscribers do you think they will have left by the time it is done? Do you think they'll be on the lower ranking of subscriber rates and
No, I don't
possibly
actually.
Prime might take its spot?
No, I don't think so. And I only say this because there's a lot of TV shows that a lot of people love on Netflix and things that I'm curious to see. I think they probably shouldn't start doing this until they have an ad version out there for people who can't really afford it can get Netflix. They want Netflix. I think what we're gonna see here is like Game of Thrones, for instance. Like if it's happened to Stranger Things comes out in May, it's May, right? Or is it June? I think it's May. When Stranger Things comes out, and if it's before that, you're gonna see a high level count of piracy for Netflix originals and things are those lines. Or people could just wait the year and buy it. When you can buy it. You can buy Netflix stuff. It's like a year after it releases on Netflix. You can buy it on digitally. You can own it or whatever. It's a thing that happens. It's not talked about, but it does happen. And things. I don't know.
So could you see Stranger Things season 4 being one of the highest profile rated shows on Netflix if password sharing goes in before the shows comes out to have the lowest concurrent watching on the opening day simply because not enough people have Netflix at the time because of password sharing being cracked down on? And could that be the reason? And could that be the reason Obi-Wan wins the weekend because more people have Disney Plus at the time because of it? Because this is basically Disney versus Netflix for that weekend, and to see which one will have more numbers in it by the end of the time. And if password sharing is cracked down on Netflix, then most accounts would not be able to be used because they're all being shared throughout households. Whereas Disney Plus is not doing the password sharing crackdown as of yet, and so Obi-Wan could maintain a number overage over Stranger Things and Netflix. Is what I'm trying to get at.
No, I understand what you mean. I don't know. The number to beat, if I'm not mistaken, that's what I was.
Because what happens if Stranger Things tanks? Like, what if it doesn't do well for them?
Well,
do you think they reevaluate what they're trying to do?
No, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure if I'm being.
I think it'd be a curious thing to see what would happen. Like for instance, say you're Netflix and password sharing becomes a thing before the show comes out, and Stranger Things season 4 is your lowest rated, is the lowest rated thing for the beginning the beginning of a quarter for Netflix, simply because of what happened prior to it being released. As Netflix, what would you do? Like from a business standpoint of view, like how would you look at that situation, and what solutions would you be looking into at that moment? I know this is a giant hyperbole, but I'm just curious. As from a business standpoint, they have to look at all their numbers and function it out whether or not they can even survive if they did it before then. Because Stranger Things will bring in more people than most Netflix content.
Well, that's what I was looking up. That's what I was trying to figure out for you. For instance, the top show on Netflix is Bridgerton. That is the top show. It has the top amount of numbers. It beat everything. Bridgerton
Even Russian
season
Doll.
2 opened up. Yes, Bridgerton season 2 opened with 200 billion minutes were watched over its opening weekend. It was an extremely high. It's the highest thing. Nothing. It beats Squid Games. Bridgerton season 2 beats Squid Games. That's where we're at. So it has to do better than Bridgerton season 2. Before that, it was it went Stranger Things was like, oh my god, and then it went Bridgerton season 1 when it came out in December, right during the mid quarantining, was like Bridgerton's like number one thing, and then Squid Games was like, oh my god, and now it's Bridgerton again, and so we'll have to wait and see if Stranger Things lives up. That's like the.
And if it
I
doesn't,
don't know. I don't really think anything's going to come from it. To be honest with you, I think it's more on the lines of we'll just have to wait and see how it does overall. Like what they decide to do with Netflix. I don't know. It's not really something I can speculate here, I would say.
who do you think wins the weekend? Obi-Wan or Stranger Things?
Stranger Things. Stranger Things has 7 episodes, 8 episodes. I don't really know. Between 6 and 8 is my best guess for Stranger Things. Obi-Wan's going to have 1 episode that's probably around 50 something minutes. 2 episodes? They're really opening with 2.
Yes.
We're going to have 3 episodes within like 4 days.
Yeah.
We're going to have half the season within 4 days. That's a really stupid move, Disney Plus. But okay. You make your own choices.
They did it.
I know it's for it's
the 27th.
Yeah, it's the thing, whatever.
No,
the event thing.
No, it has no reason with Celebration at all. The reason they moved it to the 27th was to show that they can have strict competition with Netflix. That was the only reason they moved.
I thought it was premiering with the.
No.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
No.
Whatever.
It does not premiere at Celebration.
Here, I'm going to Google it. Does Obi-Wan die? No. Maybe.
No.
I actually don't know the answer to the question, so I don't
click on it.
I did. Oh. Will Obi-Wan premiere at Star Wars Celebration, right?
Yes.
Has already shared teaser and will premiere in the middle of the celebration. Netflix on next Friday, May 20, or the Friday, May 27th. They'll also do a double episode, which will serve as a compensate viewers for the slight delay of a couple days from its original release on Wednesday, which is why we're getting 2. Because it's premiering, they want to move it to the premiere with Celebration. They want to premiere it with Star Wars Celebration. I mean, that's what I was trying to get at. Is the reason why I got moved on May 27th.
I think it'll just solely depend on quality of content.
But my point here being, this is my point, is that we'll get 2 episodes that are probably around 40 to 50 minutes for Obi-Wan. They're not going to be an hour. Let's not hope for it. It's not happening. Disney Plus is way too selfish. It's too selfish. Put your fingers down. It's not happening. Whereas Stranger Things will also probably not have an hour-long episodes.
They're extended episodes. Every episode of season 4 is extended.
But if we look back at, like, let's say Stranger Things season 3, I don't want to watch you. I just want to know how long. Okay. So they're about, okay. Yeah, they have been longer. 77 minutes, I think, is the longest one, which was the finale of season 3. Oh, season 3 was so good. But anyway, so we have Stranger Things season 4, which are going to be about like an hour, a little bit over an hour every episode, right? And that's going to be like 6 to 8 episodes. That's way more time that people are going to spend watching Stranger Things than they're going to watch Star Wars. Even Star Wars does amazing, and it could. And I'm not saying it's not going to. It could be phenomenal. Disney Plus doesn't have the numbers, but it could. It could, okay? It's still not going to beat Stranger Things because even if it's only one family, like every family watches Stranger Things, it's still 6 hours longer than the 2 episodes of Obi-Wan. like if we're looking at number wise, it cannot physically win. Now, content wise, quality of content, it could win. Let's say Obi-Wan is better than Stranger Things, quality of content. And so it could win in that battle. But like if we're talking about like numbers going head to head, type of thing, it's not like a movie ticket where we're going by pricing, we're going by hours watched, like minutes watched.
Also, we have to remember Top Gun Maverick comes out the same day.
Yeah, but like who's excited for Top Gun Maverick?
A lot of people.
Really?
Yes.
They really need to check themselves.
Why?
I've seen the trailer multiple times now, and I can't say it gives me cold chills. I could say the theater shaking is kind of cool, and that's the only thing that's enticing me. Also, Gwen Powell.
Have you seen the behind the scenes featurette of them doing the training for the planes?
Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, it's Gwen Powell. I'm right. I think Tom Cruise, personally, the more I learn about him, the worse actor he becomes. And every time I see the trailer, I just think to myself, dude, you could do better. Like, I just kind of laugh at his performance. So I don't honestly have high hopes.
Alrighty.
Well, all right, we hit 2 hours. And so Zachary, the thing here is we have 7 more topics to go through, not including approve or disapprove, and what we have been watching at the end. So your question here is, I'm going to allow you to pick 3 topics out of trailer talk down to the last one. You can pick 3 of those, and we'll talk about those 3. Moon Knight does not count. I want to talk about Moon Knight, so it's not in here. So box office break.
Oh, we gotta talk about Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's not in here. Box office breakdown to the bottom. Then we'll talk about Moon Knight at the end, and then we'll wrap things up. So pick your 3.
I want to do trailer talk.
Okay.
The one underneath trailer talk.
Okay.
And the one underneath the one that starts with an S. So I can fold that one into to that one, and the other one too.
What you're saying is you want to talk about 3 big topics when we hit 2 hours on the podcast?
Yes.
No. You get to pick either. No. You get to either pick between the one underneath trailer talk or the one at the bottom. You cannot pick both. It's your choice.
Which one do you want to talk about?
Doesn't matter to me. I'm letting you pick, but you gotta. They're too big. They're too big a conversation. If it means anything, the one underneath trailer talk we'll be talking about overall because it's for 6 weeks.
Then let's talk about the one underneath the other one, because we'll bring that one up again. Okay.
Gonna get rid of some stuff, such as all of this stuff. All right, where do you want to start?
Let's do Bob. Box office breakdown. Bob.
Hold on, I got you. I
know what didn't do well at the box office. A magical film of witches and wizards.
I can't wait to talk about that. Honestly, it's been the highlight of my week. So, don't know what that says about that, but give me a second. Let me zoom in, get some stuff situated. Boom, boom, boom. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So this is the box office for this past week, April 24th. We'll talk about some overall grosses. We're talking about box office. It doesn't need to be on screen. We'll talk about some overall grosses as well. And we'll talk about some ancillary market stuff. Not ancillary market, but things that are like smaller movies. But we'll go through the top 10. And then if there's anything such as that, we'll mention it type of thing. Because it's basically done. So, do you want to start?
What do you mean?
Just like what is number 1? What's the number 1 movie of the weekend?
Number 1 is The Bad Guys. It brought in a little over
Hold on.
6.
No.
Oh,
this is single day. We went full week. There we go.
So The Bad Guys.
This is the number that you need to read.
Okay.
It's a bit confusing. Sorry.
You're good. So The Bad Guys made over the weekend, $24 million. Good for the bad guys. That's a good number. It's a solid number. You know, we're getting back into this. We're getting back into the things of things here after the pandemic. So good on it. Good on it. Jacob, thoughts?
Hold on. I can do better than this. There we go. This is a much
That's
better list.
better.
Thank you. I can do better. I knew I could do better. I did better. I want percentages. I want drops. I want information. So I think that's good. It opened about average with most animated kid films right now. Sonic was the outlier, obviously here, but it did about average, and I think it will do really well in the upcoming weeks for sure. And it will continue to do well, and it will do amazing on the own story mark. I think The Bad Guys is a slam dunk, and I honestly, personally feel like there will be sequels going forward if DreamWorks Animation gets more movies outside of this. So yeah, that's where I'm at with The Bad Guys. Number 2 is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which came out with 15 million in its third weekend with a 48% drop. That's pretty good. And it has a grand total of 145 total gross, like domestically, which is really, really good. And Zachary's covering his mouth for some odd reason.
Because
Not really
I'm
sure.
laughing at the one underneath it.
Oh, we'll get there. And it has a 287 worldwide, which is also really, really good.
So
Comparing,
needless to say, this movie did very, 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 very good for itself.
yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna drop off here in the next week or so. So this is probably around where it's gonna, where the overseas box office still could grow, but we'll see how it
You
goes.
not
Doctor Strange 2,
you can't spell hedgehog.
that's how you spell hedgehog. Oh no, it's not. Whatever. Which is about the same. It rounded out to be just about the same. The international total was a little bit higher for the first Sonic, which is pretty good. We'll definitely get a Sonic 3, and they'll continue on doing what they're stuck with. That's very good for Paramount, so it's all good.
Yay! I'm happy for it. It's done very, very, very well. Like audience wise, the audience is 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, so clearly it's doing well. So Jacob, you get to. I'm
Can I
gonna
talk
let you
about
read
it?
this one. Yeah, you can read
Thank
it.
you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome.
So we have number 3 in its second weekend, which is the Fantastic Beasts in the Snorefest, which opened with this weekend 14 million with
Jacob,
a
give it the actual
six.
title.
Oh, sorry, didn't I? I'm sorry. The Secrets of Ooh. What? Oh, Secrets of Dumbledore.
The Secrets of Dumbledore.
I got there eventually. And it opened with 14 million, number 3, but it dropped 68 million, or no, it did not. It dropped 66%, 66.8%, while adding theaters, which is sadder. And it has a total gross of 67 million, and that's probably where it's going to be about. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to say this is basically its total. This is it. This is what you're looking at. 2 weekends and it's dead.
Why is it that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has more money than Fantastic Beasts?
Well, I can tell you that. I can tell you the exact reason is that a lot of us, as people of the queer community, decide not to go support this film due to its main writer and creator. And just like Solo, we came to play, and we weren't taking no for an answer. We basically treated J.K. Rowling as everybody treated Kathleen Kennedy. And if you guys were curious how that worked out, well, this is Solo. Really fucking bad. Like, that's real bad for a Star Wars movie. And this is pre-pandemic. This is in 2018. Like, that's real fucking bad. This is what Fantastic Beasts wanted. For instance, Crimes of Grindelwald, as that's the last one to compare it to. Does anybody know?
Crimes grind.
Crimes. That says crimes, Zachary.
Yeah, no.
Grindelwald? I got there. I had the idea. It's still
numbers they actually wanted.
Grossed out 654, which was the lowest in any Harry Potter film to date. And I'm pretty sure it also had some pretty big drops, not as big as this drop, but it's still past the century mark, and I cannot say that this is going to pass the century mark domestically. So Fantastic Beasts 4 is dead. And I'm not mad. So Zachary, talk about the next one.
Number 4 is The Northman. It's made 12 million.
which is actually pretty good for Focus. It's not great. The bigger thing here is that it got a B cinema score, which means that the people who went and saw it, who got polled, didn't actually really like it. They didn't hate it, but it wasn't. B is not great. B is not horrible. Focus Features has had worse. And so yeah, I'm curious to see how it does overall. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna make around 40 million, which is about how much they spent to make it. So that's
Hmm.
not too bad. It's probably 80 overall because you normally double the amount, like how much the movie made for the advertisement of the movie.
Hmm.
But that's still not bad. And this was mainly like for, I'm going to say awards. I can't say this was. It could have been for a wide. I don't know. I think they maybe should have done everything everywhere at once and opened it very slowly.
Hmm.
That way the numbers are better. It could have ended with 12, but you know what I mean? I'm not sure.
I agree.
All right.
Next is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, bringing in $7.1 million.
Which is Nicolas Cage's first theatrical release in like 5 years. Which is
No, Pig.
huh?
Pig.
I
Pig.
don't I
Pig.
don't
Pig.
think Pig was released theatrically.
Pig had a limited run.
I'm talking about widespread release. Pig opened with a total of 9. Oh, that's actually pretty good. I'm gonna say that's pretty good for Pig. Good for him. I didn't watch Pig, but
I
you
need.
know,
I want to watch Pig.
but for a wide release film, which is what would be counted as, I don't know. I guess it's good.
I don't know really how to determine what's a good Nicolas Cage number because he hasn't really had a number like this in a while.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat here. I'm not really sure where to place that one.
I'm happy it made money. That's all I really care about at that point.
I'm just happy it made the top 10 and it didn't open with like 2 million.
Can I ask you a question though? When you heard about these two films, The Northman and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, did you ever think they'd be wide release movies, or do you think they'd be indie films with a really smaller
Yeah,
release window?
yeah, no, I didn't really think they'd hit the wide release. I actually really thought they'd probably open it with like 40 theaters and then slowly build out.
Do you think so? Do you think it was a mistake on both Lionsgate and Focus's fart to put the fart
Well,
part two make them wide releases and not on an indie level scale?
the issue here is Lionsgate has a pretty bad track record with like releasing movies for like awards fair or whatever. Not that I say
Yeah.
The Unbreakable Weight of Massive Talent is an awards movie, because I wouldn't say that.
Hmm.
Even Pedro Pascal received a performance of awards. I still wouldn't say it's awards contender. So I don't really think. I think they did the best they could. But with
Hmm.
focus features, I think they could do better, and they have done better in the past. I truly
Yeah.
think they thought maybe this is going to be like a wide release movie, which it's
From
fair.
the trailer, from well, trailer wise, you would think why because like what they're showing within trailers. But then when you actually hear about what the movie is, it's not really considered a wide release story. You know,
67%,
it's
which
still
is
holding
not
an
great.
89. It's still holding an 89 from critics, so obviously it did well with critics.
I also heard it's
Eh,
extremely hard to watch, which could limit
Good,
its audience
good God,
dramatically.
Stellan Skarsgård is ripped. Jesus Christ.
That's Alexander Skarsgård.
Sorry.
Stalin, his dad. He is the Baron from Dune.
He's also from
Yeah,
Thor.
yeah, but Dune
Wow,
scarred
that's
me.
dead even.
Yeah, I agree. The bad guys. Yeah,
92.
pretty
And
good.
then Song's holding a
Sonic.
Song's holding a 67 with a 96. That's not bad. And then Fantastic Beasts 97, 92. I feel jealous everybody else gets to watch that movie and I don't. Holds an
84.
84%.
But this is also a limited audience that is going to go see it. The people who are going to see this movie are people.
Yes. Uh Jacob will return after short messages. Dee-doo, 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 dee-doo. I think what he was going to say is that Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore holds its 84% for the people who, appreciate Fantastic Beasts still. But the other 20% realized it's just not that good of a movie, which I could have told you. Um, hmm, interesting. He's not even here. Uh, Jacob, blink twice if you're okay. Oh, he's completely gone. Well, um, that's the box office breakdown. We had a lot to do. We had a lot to do there. I'm just gonna go ahead and well, um, let's see. Oh wait, hang on. I see a Jacob there. Let's see if he's returning. I will let you know in a second. He's coming back. Thank you all very much for watching our show. For the past 4 years, technical difficulties and all. I see a Jacob there. He's a witness. I don't know if you can see me. I would contact him, but my phone is dead, and I need to charge that. So, you know, think. So, hey, wait, hang on. Oh boy, we're getting images. I'm seeing a bunch of whoa. Things are moving. Um. There he is. Okay. Well, oh boy, he's here, kinda.
Did we?
Hang on, I hear you. Oh boy, it's gonna just be 6 minutes of nothing but pure bliss. Um. Okay, I'm just gonna do that for a second while he figures that out, and I'm gonna there we go. Okay. Um. It's intriguing. Well. Oh, and he's gone again. All right. Cool. Wait, he's back again.
Am I back? Am I not back?
You're here. Okay, so what I've learned is that when the box office comes on the screen, you go.
I genuinely don't know because it was working just fine, but I think it got mad because I was opening so many windows and closing windows, and I just don't think it liked me for a minute.
It was the unbearable weight of your massive computer.
So I'm just gonna read through the rest of the list, and you're just gonna. Oh God, he paused. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back. He's here. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. I'm gonna just read through the rest, and then we're gonna move on to something that requires less of my computer. That sound fair? I think that sounds fair. Okay, so number 6 is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which came with 5 million this weekend with a 12% drop. This is its first percent drop. It did lose 87 theaters as it's officially not going wide anymore. It's like peak was like 2,200, and it's at a total of 26 million with a 28 million for its worldwide. That's pretty good. Overall, this is doing really, really well, and it's going to be a pretty big contender, and it's going to do really well on the ancillary market. For everybody who did not get to see it, they'll want to go back to see it with the ancillary market. Or if you have seen it, you're definitely buying it when it gets released.
You better be.
It's already pre-ordered, bitch. It was pre-ordered the night I got it. The night we went and saw it. I literally came home and was like, yep, no regrets.
Movie commentary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we should do a movie commentary to our favorite movies of the year as we get closer to the end of the year, and if we'll sprinkle them in throughout. So yeah, that's fine. We need to do a Batman one. You can pick Batman for May and be one. It's up to you. I don't know, or you can do it the way I'm doing it, which makes you choose, and it's kind of fun.
I think I might, depending on what happens at the end of the show, I'll let you know.
So number 7 is The Lost City, which came with 4 million, which is really good. This is the 5th week. It is losing theaters as well. It had a 29% drop with an 85 million total. It probably is not going to hit the century mark stateside, which does suck. It's kind of sad. Really looked like it was going to in the beginning there. but it did all right. It's also going to do really well in the ancillary market for sure. If anything, Dog is a great example of how well people like watching Channing Tatum at home. It's fair.
Dog's a pretty good movie too.
Dog is a great movie. It's really funny, very emotional, and it's good. Yeah, do you like Dog? Not like top 10 worthy, but like it was good. I enjoyed myself. Father Stu is number 8, which is Mark Wahlberg's recent attempt to get a what is that word? An Oscar, which is not happening. And it opened with, or its second weekend, it has 3 million with a total of 13 million with a 38% drop. And it's about a priest, so it definitely doesn't have a worldwide appeal for obvious reasons. Number 9, Morbius will top.
Not because anybody's in this movie at all with them.
Oh no, yeah, no, definitely not that. No, definitely not. No. Everybody loves his co-stars. Yeah, he's like one of the favorite people.
I know.
In the earth,
I hear about him all the time.
Yeah. So, if you know, you know. I'm being
if you don't, go look it up.
Number 9 is Morbius, with a total of 2 million hauls this weekend. It's its 4th week. It dropped 52%, and it's probably going to come in around 70-ish million overall for domestic, with probably around like 160 for worldwide, which is really bad. For instance, the next one we could compare this to is obviously not Spider-Man. That would just be rude for everybody. Venom 2 is where we would be the comparison here. And Venom 2 came in with a 502 worldwide. So
Craven, you better be good.
Morbius.
Craven, you better be good.
In the water, the first Venom, I think it was like 800. Yeah, 856. That was almost $1 billion picture. Do you really think Venom is like worth $1 billion picture? Because I'm not sure I'm the. Oh, two people. Number 10 is Ambulance, and it's 3rd weekend. Oh, really? Been not that long. With a 1.8 million, with 19 million. It's also probably about dead in the water. It's probably going to be moving over to streaming anytime now, with 46 worldwide, which is actually not that bad. And this is the lowest Michael Bay film in like 5 years.
Because it doesn't have a robot in it.
Precisely. And then I want to mention, because I think it's important to mention, 2 movies as well, because they're done. They're officially on Ancillary Market, or they'll be on the Ancillary Market on Tuesday. So this is their like totals overall. So we have the Batman. Batman did real well, guys. You guys still kept it going, even though you can watch it at home. It did have one of its largest drops, which is 60% this weekend. It did drop out of top 10.
How much did it make, Jacob? I saw the number. How much did it make?
1.5 million, which is still really good. Not like Spider-Man No Way Home good, but like good for like, its continuous weeks. But it was in the top 10 for 7 weeks, which is really good. And its final numbers came out to be 367 million domestic, which is great. That's excellent. The worldwide could be better, but it also went against the war. I mean, there's a lot of factors that played a factor here. It would have been $1 billion if all these factors probably weren't here. I'd also say if the movie was about 20 minutes shorter. I wouldn't cut anything from it, but from like a standpoint here, not everything can be like.
What was his final total?
754 million worldwide, which is phenomenal. No shame there.
Congratulations to the crew there. Really, honestly, I've seen the movie 10 times now in total. It's my favorite movie of the year. It's my favorite movie of the year.
And then lastly, I wanted to very quickly mention Uncharted. Uncharted, if you guys did not know, is going to be on the Ancillary Market on Tuesday to purchase and then to rent. I think it's some point in May. I think it's like May 15th or something like that. And it came out to be 392 worldwide. Domestic 145, which is great. International 246, which is also great. This is obviously helmed by Tom Holland. And I think the only thing truly comparable to it is Tomb Raider, if I'm being honest, because it's
How well did Tomb Raider do?
2018 Tomb Raider
Hmm.
was 274, so it actually did better.
Better.
I think it also opened larger. It did with 44, so it doubled its opening weekend as well. I think this is great. I think this once again shows tremendous appeal for Tom Holland. That people are still very much willing to go see Tom Holland in theaters, even if he's not Spider-Man. This was not a very well-received movie on top of that, which I think is also a lot of credit. And a lot of people kept showing up. It was in the top 10 for several weeks, like a lot of weeks and things. And it's coming out about 70 days after its initial release in theaters, which I'd say that's pretty good. Yeah, I think this is a very good haul for this movie. And I would not be mad. And I would also not be surprised if we do get a sequel announcement at some
And I
point.
also saw Spider-Man somewhere, like in like it was number 11, wasn't it? So
Yes,
isn't that now
Spider-Man.
officially done?
Spider-Man is also officially, I'm going to say, done. It had $85,000 this weekend.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it's so in only 158 theaters. It also, in 19 weeks of being, out, had only a 58% drop, which, you know, good for them. Uh, Spider-Man came out to its grossing total with 804 million domestic, 1.8 billion or 1.08. It's not actually like 1.8, but yeah, 1.8 billion worldwide, like overall total wise here. So
There's one guy that helped with that number. The man who saw it 29 times in the Guinness Book World Record showing of seeing Spider-Man No Way Home 29 times in the theater.
it's worth it.
Look it up on TikTok. It's a real thing.
I respect that. I respect it a lot.
Damn. $58,000 in its 19th week. You can watch this movie at home. You
And
can
you
buy
probably
it in a Meijer.
you probably did. Let's get real here, guys. You guys all probably did. Who went and saw this? You guys probably went to the theater, watched it in the theater, went home and watched it at home. That's probably what happened. So good for you. And that's the box office. That's everything. I want to talk about trailer talks. We'll end with DC if we have time, and then we'll jump to Moon Knight.
We can talk about DC another time. That's a lot.
Did I waste enough time? I sure did.
Yeah,
We do love this. We do love to see it. So we have trailer talk. Let me pull up the trailers that I want to talk about.
Do you love to talk about it? Because I really want to talk about DC because I had articles and all that set up and ready to go. But
You know what? There's always
the
next
one thing
week.
I was actually prepared for.
Were you?
Yes.
So we have some. Oh, do you know? Speaking of trailers, I can bring it up. This is important. I finally got to see the trailer for Memory the other weekend.
Oh, the one with Liam Neeson.
And did you know that's about him losing his mind?
Yes.
Like having dementia?
Yeah.
I did not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is Dungeons and Dragons Honor of Thieves? Is that the for the movie or the TV show?
That's for the movie.
You would just think they would just call it Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. But
Oh, we're less than a year out from that. That's kind of crazy. All right, let's talk about. Sorry, I got real distracted real fast as we do here. So, obviously, I'm gonna let Zachary go on a huge rant about Lightyear. By rant, I mean love affair, and then I'm just gonna sit back, and then I have no opinions about it. I know way too many spoilers. I'm really surprised they gave away something in this trailer. I'm not gonna call it like a Batman versus Superman moment, but I would have kept it for the movie.
I think there's as one reactor said, that's not even the big twist of the movie. So
fuck no. No. I'm just gonna. Before I'm gonna let Zach go on this whole thing, which I think he should. I'm happy for him. I just want everybody know that Lightyear is not a happy movie. These trailers are being really rude to you, and that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I won't put any context to why, but just know that you're not walking into this movie to smile, and that's all.
So
bad representation. Sorry.
So we learned things about Lightyear. IGN and Variety got interviews with directors. We now know what this movie is. It is an 80s film from the Toy Story universe that Andy watched on a VHS tape. This is his Star Wars. This is what got him obsessed with sci-fi fantasy. And to me, it is the coolest aspect ever. That means that toy I own is an 80s action hero. And that's the coolest thing ever.
That is great, and that makes me very happy inside for you, Zachary. But what did you think of the trailer?
I the fact that they were able to bring in the fact that the only reason Buzz Lightyear uses his communicator is to keep his thoughts intact is the funniest thing to me. I was not. It helps me focus. So good. He looks so good in the suit. He looks like Buzz, you know, the fact that when he lands on the planet he goes, "Come in, Star Command. Come in, Star Command." Why don't they answer? We now know what that means. And it's so cool to know that Taika Waititi and Kiki Palmer sound absolutely fantastic in this movie. Um, but again, what I love about this film is that once again, Chris Evans is playing a man at a time, and I find that very, very funny. But to me, the reason this movie could have easily not worked for me is because of Chris Evans, and I will explain to you why within the trailer's context. When you listen to Chris Evans talk as Buzz Lightyear, it sounds like a younger version of Tim Allen's voice for the toy. And so I understand like how for the Toy Story toys, Tom Hanks plays the Woody toy in the movies. His brother Tom Hanks plays the toys in actual real life. His voice is the Woody doll in real life. Tom Hanks does the voice for the Woody doll in the movies. So Chris Evans sounds like a younger version of Tim Allen. So of course, a Tim Allen actor in the Toy Story universe would play the Buzz Lightyear action figure. So it sounds like Buzz Lightyear, and I love that so much. I think the comedy in this is absolutely hysterical. The whole joke in the ship about record your last voice message. Do not vomit in the ship. You want to keep that? Made me crack up. But the fact they were able to do a fart joke in this trailer at the end with the "don't pull my finger" thing, and they make it a sexual innuendo, is the funniest thing in the world. Like, it's something me and your grandma used to do. Ew. It's so good. It's so good. But it also just referred to me like everything we've seen for this movie is from the beginning of the movie. Like, we haven't seen anything from the middle or the end, because the entirety of the first of the teaser and the other trailer they put out is all from when he's still at Star Command, which is nuts to me. That felt like a full movie right there. And then they fight Zurg for some reason. But this makes all the more sense now. Zurg looks so good. And for the people complaining about Zurg's redesign, did you really want a man with a thin waist, a rubber waist, and a skirt rolling around trying to intimidate Chris Evans, Buzz Lightyear? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't want that. You wanted the giant mechanical robot destroying people. That's what you wanted, and that's what we're getting. He
I
still
don't
has his
know.
he still has his ion blaster with the three barrels that will shoot the yellow balls like the toy does, except it'll be ion blasts. He still has the thing on his back to where you can punch out his hand like the toy did. It's not anything they haven't done with him before. They redesigned him to make him look more menacing, more intimidating. And same thing with the Cyclones. His robots don't look like the droids from Star Wars. They look like, intimidating like mini versions of Hulkbusters from Iron Man. It's the coolest thing in the world. The animation is stunning. I love the fact we didn't use Starman again. I think the song works great for this movie, but we didn't need to hear it again in the third trailer. This hit me emotionally, laughably, physically, and mentally. I cannot wait for this movie. This is my second favorite film. This is my second most anticipated movie of the year, behind Thor: Love and Thunder and The Northman. I cannot wait for this film.
If really questioning why I bought your tickets to Doctor Strange if it's not even up there, your most anticipated films.
It's number 4.
Maybe I shouldn't invite you anymore.
Oh no, I'm excited for Doctor Strange.
Nah, it
But
doesn't really seem like it.
Jacob, come on.
Jumping on a new bandwagon already?
It's a Buzz Lightyear movie. Did you really honestly think it would not be in my top 3?
Well, here's hot takes. Hot take number 1. No. I actually did think, yeah, for sure. But that's besides the point. Hot take number 2. I thought Thor: Love and Thunder looked medium. I honest I wasn't that impressed.
I
I was
can't wrap
a
my thing again.
I was a little bored. I thought they could do better. I also think the reveal of the Mighty Four was truly horrible. Um so yeah. Now the Lightyear trailer, I thought it was a great improvement. I thought it was probably the best one out of the trailers that we received so far for Lightyear. I enjoyed everything. I'm ready for the Kiki Palmer songs this summer for sure. And yeah, but for Thor: Love and Thunder, I thought the shots were really good. You know, of course, Taika Waititi, never expecting anything less than a pretty film. But overall, I was a little bored with the whole concept of the movie. It's obviously a teaser for sure, which makes sense. I think some of the shots are amazing, and I do love them. I'm also don't know how much I feel about them telling us exactly that Guardians of the Galaxy are part of it. When we knew Guardians of the Galaxy was a part of it, but I don't know how much I enjoyed the whole interactions with Guardians in the trailer personally. I thought it looked beautiful, like set wise, like VFX work and things like that. Always top notch. I've never expected anything less either. I'm excited for Tessa Thompson's storyline a lot as well. I do like how it's King. Um,
That
the
it's
I
it
do
says it says the same thing on the box for the Legends figure. I think that's so cool.
I think it's really cool. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the weakest aspect to this entire trailer is the introduction of Mighty Thor. I just hate the way it was lighted. I hate the way that she looks. I don't like basically just about anything about it. And I'm really sad this was our introduction to her because I think it could have been so much cooler. Like if you have ever read any of the things for the Mighty Thor, like any of the comic books or anything like that, it's
Jason
so
Aaron's
visual.
Mighty Thor run is fantastic.
It's so visual. It's so colorful. There's so many cool things about it. And I personally feel like the first shot that we've seen of her, which is obviously the first shot and things are going to change. It's going to evolve. It's going to be better. I get that. But I'm just talking about first initial impressions here. I personally think we could have done better. I think there is probably better shots in this movie of her that look better. The best part about this is Natalie Portman's guns. But
I'm about to say, can we not talk about the fact that Natalie Portman could probably punch Chris Hemsworth in the face and actually leave a dent?
my
Her
issue
arms are insane.
My issue is the fact that, like, if you would have told me that's Natalie Portman, I would have laughed at you. I can't even tell it's her. And I think that's a major issue.
You're not supposed to.
Everybody knows, though. Like, I don't care if you're not supposed
Yeah,
to.
okay, fine. People like us know it's Natalie Portman, but for the common moviegoer, they have no idea who's beneath that helmet.
Well, I think it's an issue that you can't tell who the actor is playing the person.
I don't think so.
Like, to me, if you told me, oh my God, that's a stunt double, I would have looked at you and been like, yeah, it's a stunt double.
Here's my defense for this. I think the reason that this worked for me so well was the fact that if I was an average moviegoer who didn't really focus about Comic Con, didn't focus about who was playing in these movies, and I just saw a new trailer for the next Thor movie, and at the end of the trailer, I see this goddess of a woman holding a restored Mjolnir wearing Thor's armor, and not knowing who that was underneath the helmet with blonde hair, I would go, so who the hell is that? So by the time you get to the movie, when she takes that helmet off and you see that that's Jane, your mind would
Or
be blown because you would have
the
no
actual
idea.
trailer.
Huh?
Or the actual trailer,
Yeah,
as this is only a teaser.
exactly. So again, so when we get to the main trailer and it shows that's Jane, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? What do you mean that's Jane Foster?" But to us, we know it's Natalie Portman. So I do agree with you on
I'm
that point of view. It's
just
not showing her off very very well. But to a casual movie audience goer, they would look at it and go, "So why is there a second Thor?" That helmet comes off in the next trailer. Their minds are going to be blown because it's Jane Foster all buffed up, and they're going to wonder why the heck that's going on.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree. Um, Personally, I don't agree. I think it was a horrible introduction to a new character.
Would you like this trailer better if Gore showed up?
Yeah, I think it would have been better. I think personally, if you're going to have a horrible introduction to this character, which in my opinion, if they did, I would have much preferred you introducing me to the villain instead. There are a few things like if you know what the movie's about and things are those lines, he is kind of there. He's not ever shown, but he is there. If that makes sense. If you know what the movie is, what the whole point of it and things. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously Chris Hemsworth movie, and I think he does look the best here than he's ever looked. I think the long hair works. I think
The
taking it
Ravager Thor outfit is the coolest thing ever.
taking it more in the lines of a mixture between Taika Waititi's look that he gave him originally with the really zaniness, while also bringing it back to the grounded look of like what they're trying to do, making it like a Game of Thrones. I think really works, and I think it really works now because I think we're gonna get both sides of that character. The more serious side that we really enjoyed in Endgame, and the really, really zany side that we got to see in Ragnarok, which is also in Endgame, but you know what I mean when I say that. I
Hmm.
think it works really well, and I'm on that case, I'm very excited, but like out of the two movies that are coming out, not because it's coming out in like a week, but out of the two movies, like if Doctor Strange is coming out like in like 6 months from now or whatever, I would say Doctor Strange to me personally looked better.
And for me, I would also disagree on the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. To me, it feels like we're picking up right where Endgame left off with that ragtag group of people and how they interact with each other. The whole joke at the end with Thor looking into Star Lord's eyes and trying to talk about the people that he loves. He's like, "No, you love me, right? It's just me, right? You know, it's me. You know me, right? Yeah, it's not you. What do you mean? I was just listening." It feels like we're still on the ship at the end of Endgame. I think their stuff works. I also think them showing them doesn't ruin the movie simply because I don't think they're going to be in the movie the entire time. I
No,
think the
I
scene where you
maybe like the first like 10 minutes or so.
I think the scene in the trailer where you see Thor and Korg looking up to them leaving. I think that's them leaving after the events of the beginning of the movie. I
Yeah,
think
the
we see
same.
him with so
I
it's
just don't know how
also
much I enjoyed. I don't know. I don't know.
for me, it establishes where we are in the MCU timeline. That Thor is still with the Guardians, and again, for common moviegoers, they wouldn't know the Guardians would be in this movie if they didn't do that. So I also agree where that could have been a really nice surprise to go to the theater and see that. But I think we're now past that point when it comes to base Marvel characters. Like it's cool to see people together, and it does really well with trailer numbers, obviously, because it's the fourth highest rated trailer for Marvel because of that. And so I think the song choice, the stylistic ideas, and the reveals of both the Guardians and Mighty Thor ultimately overall make this trailer better. And also, when you look at how the trailer plays, Gore wouldn't have fit in this trailer. I think with how zany and over the top that this is, and knowing that if
We don't really
Gore
know
if
how
Gore
Gore is
is
being represented. We know what he
if
looks
Gore
like, but we don't know how he's being
yeah,
represented.
I would go underneath the line that Gore will not be as funny as what a as Ragnarok. Because I mean, everybody thinks that Hela's hilarious in Ragnarok, but look at all the shit that woman did in that movie.
That's what I mean.
She's
So I
not.
still think it could be funny. I think
I
it'd
can
be really
see.
weird if it's serious.
I think Gore could be like a Drax level character, like like a dry humored kind of character. That's where I think it would go.
Hmm?
Um,
I think that's
I
fair.
also don't. I also don't think they revealed Gore for other reasons that we can't talk about on this show. That is all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had to think about it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably true.
Yeah. So they
That's
probably have to
fair.
wait. They probably have to wait till that before they can show him in this.
That's true. All right, moving on.
Speak,
All right, we're just moving on. We're going to
moving on.
talk about Moon Knight episodes 3 and
Moving night.
4.
It's moving night. It's moving
Moon Knight
night.
episodes 3 and 4. Um, one
Spoilers, Avi.
one is obviously better than the other, and you can pick whichever one you want in that regard.
I agree. 110%. One is significantly better than the other.
One is my least favorite episode so far of the season,
One's
and
one's my least
what is
favorite
the
episode of one's my least favorite episode of the MCU shows in general.
well, let's talk about that episode. Obviously, we're talking about episode 3
Episode
here,
3.
and not episode 4. Just want to make sure
No.
that's clear.
Yeah. No. No
Episode 3,
fakeness here. 3
episode
dragged.
episode 4 was okay, but episode 3 was was real good. I mean, no, episode 4 was real good, but it was it was good for Moon Knight, but episode 3 was bad.
To me, the strongest aspect of episode 3 was the final shot of him and Khonshu rewriting the stars together. That to me is one of the most visually appealing things I've seen in the MCU in a long time. And I love the fact that within the world, time didn't stop. People were looking up and witnessing time go backwards within the stars. I thought that was, and it also brought Khonshu down to a more intimate level. And I love. I know he doesn't get a lot of love. I love Khonshu. He's one of my favorite characters introduced within the MCU because of this show. And him and Steven having that moment together that wasn't Mark. Him appreciating Steven as another asset to that team, to me was really, really cool, and understanding that Mark would have not been the right choice for that moment that Steven was. And so I like that fact that we get that. My only real criticism with this show now is a lack of, it's not a lack of comics knowledge on the director's part. It's a lack of not knowing what to do with the situation. So if you're not a comics reader, when Khonshu brings Mark back to life, they talk about in episode 4, Mark gets shot and Khonshu brings him back to life. When Khonshu is gone, there's no body anymore. That body no longer functions. So it threw me off when you opened up episode 4 and Mark and Steven are just, casually walking around or being A-okay.
I see. I didn't take it that way. I've seen a lot of conversation about this. You are not the only one. I didn't take it that way.
It threw me off.
I did not.
Fell.
We are going to talk about it. I think it's really interesting. I think it's something to bring up. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter review, sadly, but we've been doing this for too long. And, way too long. And for one aspect of it, for episode 3, let me put down my opinion. I liked some of the action sequences in episode 3. I think, personally, Moon Knight as a costume and as, a character, so talking about the suit here, is less appealing than Mr. Knight. I think Mr. Knight has a cooler look. Mm-hmm. Not cooler, but a cooler look. Actually, Mr. Knight, I would say, is probably one of my least favorite things about this whole entire TV show. I just cannot stand idiots. It's just the point here. I understand why he's an idiot, but I just can't stand it, and it annoys me every time he's on screen. But I think the look is so cool. And also, because I am somewhat familiar, as I did read part of the comics in preparation for the TV show, I think the representation, because of how they decided to do the TV show, I think it's also a little bit annoying if you're a comic book reader for Mr. Knight. Comics accurate for sure with the look, but the actions and whole 9 yards, not really. And I don't think we're going to level up to where Mr. Knight is in the comics and how cool he is in this TV show. And so I just think it's ultimately just going to be a disappointment. Mm-hmm. Which I think was a very big problem I had with episode 3, was the fact that Steven was the head person here. And I just don't think, unlike his counterpart, I don't think he's the interesting character. I think Mark is more interesting than Steven.
I disagree.
Oh, no. Is that backwards?
Steven's the more interesting character. Mark is your generic action hero.
There we go.
Steven's got
so Mark was...
ground.
Thank you. There's so many names. Please don't be mad at me. I'm confused again. Can you tell me who?
Steven.
Thank you. Steven, which one?
Steven's the British guy.
Okay. Sorry. I think with Mark being the forefront of episode 3, him being in the majority of the scenes and Steven being in the background, I think end up hurting it more and more. And then with episode 4, I think the kiss between Steven and Layla went too far, in my opinion. Yes. I think it's a little too dicey for me for a Disney Plus show, specifically a Marvel show.
All of episode 4 is dicey. What are you talking about?
No, I think that was the most dicey. In my opinion. Episode 4 obviously has the amazing twist, which I'll let Zach introduce to you because I know he wants to talk about it, so I'll just do it. I'm going to build you up to it, though, real fast, because episode 3 I don't really have a lot of opinions
Neither
about.
do I. To me, it's
It,
still just the ending of episode 3, and also
episode,
Layla's introduction.
see, I hated the ending of episode 3.
I love the ending.
It brought me out of it so much. Also, the directing in episode 3 was terrible. Oh my god. It's some of the worst directing we've had in Disney Plus shows.
Would you believe that the same 2 directors directed the next episode?
No.
They did.
Well, fuck if I do that. Episode 4.
Oh no. He's gone again. Well, is he? Hang on. We'll wait and see.
Here we go. All right.
There you
So
go.
I thought the horror elements in episode 4, as a horror person, were just okay. But I'm happy they were there. I'm not mad. I'm just like, I did like how brutal it got. I was really shocked with how violent it was. And I'm happy we're watching it now, as I believe in like 6 months from now, all those scenes will be cut out completely.
People complaining about the lack of blood in the MCU, they pretty much got all their comeuppance and more in episode 4.
Then, before Zachary talks about the final twist element of this episode, I want to talk about how he was shot twice by Harlow. I think that's a very clear answer here, which is part of the reason why I think he's still alive. So Zachary takes it more literal, that like if Khonshu's dead, which he's not dead, he's just tombed. If Khonshu's dead, then Steven and Mark should be dead because, he was like the avatar, the pastor of the body, whatever. I don't think that's the case here. I can't tell you exactly why I don't believe you, like why I don't think this is accurate, but I just don't think it's accurate. One, I definitely know there's more than 2 personalities. That's the coolest part about the character of Moon Knight is the fact that it's like 12 personalities. I don't think we're gonna get that many in the MCU, but
No.
we're gonna have 3. I know for a fact there's a third one. They keep referencing it. This one specifically referenced it several different times. This episode did. Episode 4, episode 3 was chock full of them.
And it makes me curious why they are teasing him, because he's not he's not the biggest personality of the 3 of them, even in the comic books.
The story element here is really interesting. He got shot twice, right?
Right.
One for Mark, one for Steven. Now a third time, so there's another personality that's dormant that's still alive, technically. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you read the comics, you know how this is going to end. They stick to the comics. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. But after he gets shot, he happens to wake up. What happens when he wakes up, Zachary? And do not do a shot by shot. We do not have time.
This was the most. I did not think this show would go here. I honestly didn't. They really threw us for a curveball. So we end up in what can only be described as the one who flew over the cuckoo's nest psychiatric breakdown. And we see a bunch of, people we've seen throughout the show. And ultimately we see Mark in a wheelchair holding what is only a Marvel Legends Moon Knight action figure. And, it ends up to the point to where you see Arthur Harrow being his psychiatrist, him explaining everything that's happened up to this point. And then Mark escapes and ends up in a room with a tomb, with a sarcophagus. And this sarcophagus is screaming. The sarcophagus opens, and it's Steven. So this is the first time we've seen both Mark and Steven staring at each other simultaneously at the same time. Also, the facial work on Oscar Isaac to get both of them at the same time looked fantastic. I couldn't tell that it was one person playing 2 different parts. They did a great job. So then they try to escape, and they run past another sarcophagus that's screaming and angry. We won't get into that guy. And so,
just so it's important.
we get to the store. And this is where it really threw me for a loop, because I thought it was going to be somebody else completely. And this door opens, and it's just this hippo. Which I should have known, because they teased this dumb little thing in the first episode. Because remember the hippo plushies? Yeah. And I was like, that's never going to come back. It came back. But the best part is this gigantic, intimidating hippo goes, hi. it's not the voice you're expecting to come out of a hippo. And I'm like, so this is our cute animal companion for Marvel in this show. Okay,
Well,
a hippo.
do you know who the hippo is?
I don't know who's playing the hippo.
Not the actor or actress. I actually generally don't know. Um, oh, I can tell you. Antonia Salib is playing it. This is the only
Credit.
credit the person has.
Well, her
The
first
hippo's
line was adorable.
the name is Taart.
Tahar.
No. There's a W there, Zachary. Art
Tahar.
is an Egyptian goddess of childbirth and fertility. Just
God, we're going there.
just to keep that one. Just keep it in mind. Just keep it in mind. I'm not gonna just keep it there. Just keep it in mind.
We have 2 episodes left. How the hell is this gonna
Yeah.
work?
Yeah. See, that's what most people's complaint is that like this should have been episode 3, episode 2 and 3 should have been combined into one episode, and that this should be the halfway mark, and then we should be building off of this into the brand new.
And we now know this is a limited series. We're not getting a season 2 because of them putting out their nominations and stuff for the Emmys.
My thing here is I actually don't trust that shit. I don't trust it one bit. I don't trust it at all. I've seen so many TV shows. Okay, this is my prime example for Emmys in consideration when figuring out a TV show. Big Little Lies was nominated both years in limited series. Don't ask me how it works, but limited series both years. Even though it was nominated for 2, and the only reason why it never got a 3rd was because it did bad. True Detective is nominated every year in limited series that it's on. Don't ask me why, but it's there.
How often do we get a season of True Detective?
Doesn't matter. It's still the point. The point is that I don't think it rolls out.
If you follow what the limited series structure states, is that it's a limited series follows two different sets of characters per show. True Detective every season follows a different set of characters per show. It's not continuing the story from the next season. Therefore, it could be still considered a limited series after the fact.
But Big Little Lies season 2
it's still called True Detective.
But hold on, Big Little Lies season 2 did follow the story. It was the direct repercussions of the story and was nominated for a limited series.
I'm just saying the True Detective one doesn't work.
White Lotus doesn't really work either. It's an anthology, but it follows the same characters, same storyline. So yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, episode 4 of Moon Knight to me is the best episode the series has had since the first one.
Well, I thought the first one is just okay. So I think episode 4 is probably the best one.
So overall, right now, how is your feelings of Moon Knight right now, and how do you think it'll be once the series ends? Do you think?
Truly depends on the ending. I think Moon Knight falls under the category for me of like how excited I got during What If with the episode ranges here.
For me, this is about as excited as I got for Hawkeye.
Yeah, see, we two different souls.
Yeah.
Hawkeye to me is as good as WandaVision. Hawkeye to you is not as good as Loki.
No, to me, Loki is still Loki and WandaVision to me are still the standards for the MCU shows.
Loki, to me, I did not like. Sorry, people with the internet, Lord. I did not like Loki, like at all. Like Loki is on the bottom of the barrel. It's right there with What If. Moon Knight's not really far above it. Actually, it's not far below it. I think I'm liking Moon Knight less than I liked Loki. But that's only because nothing has happened. This is the most that's happened, the most I've been intrigued the entire time. I think Oscar Isaac is doing a splendid job, but
here's insane what he does.
Here's the thing. Did I expect anything less? No. I did not. Like, okay, for instance, WandaVision, I think moved the story in a general way. Also, Wanda is like one of the best characters in the entire MCU, which I think helped WandaVision, in my opinion. All my opinions.
No. So,
hold on.
Let me ask you. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I'm not done. Then with Falcon and Winter Soldier, definitely was a downgrade from WandaVision. I think we all can agree with that. But I still very much enjoyed it. I was very curious, and I was intrigued every episode. And with how shockingly brutal Falcon and the Winter Soldier got, it did keep me very interested, just like Moon Knight is, right? With
Hmm.
Loki, I was just bored. I was intrigued. The conversation was still good. I did like the introduction to King, but I think a lot of the storylines for me personally didn't really work out. And I think that's probably because of Loki as a character overall, and because I just have never really liked Tom Hiddleston in the role and or Loki in general. I've never really enjoyed. This is not something I'm secret about, so I don't really care talking about. Then we have What If, which was we all know my opinion. We're just gonna move on. If you don't know my opinion, it's not great, and we're moving on. I think it's gonna be really
Except for that one
cool,
episode. Except for that one episode.
which I still thought was only medium.
The Doctor
Beautifully,
Strange one.
yeah, still only medium. Best one by far in the whole thing. But it was a bunch of like single ideas that were never actually form fitted. No idea ever had an ending, and it made the whole entire TV show annoying to watch, including the Doctor Strange one. Doctor Strange one did come around in the end to have an ending, but the episode itself was annoying to watch because there is no ending. And that's how I can summarize like What If in general. Then with Hawkeye, Hawkeye was everything and everything I ever wanted, so I have zero complaints. It's right there. It's everything I ever wanted. That TV show is amazing on rewatches. Highly recommend you rewatch Hawkeye all the way through. Like spend a 6 hour day watching Hawkeye. It's not disappointing. I promise you. Kingpin's probably the only thing that I could say you could take away that's disappointing out of that whole entire conversation. And Moon Knight, being a brand new character, has zero references basically to the MCU except one or two here or there. I think just feels so different and so out of place. And since we're dealing with Egyptian gods, how are the Eternals not mentioned? And if you're moving back the world like they were at the end of episode 3, I would say this is the stuff where people are like, should we call it Avenger? Like the fact there is no mention of them at all, I think just continues to take me out of the TV show. And I completely get, and I felt the same way with Shang-Chi, as much as Shang-Chi was amazing, which is why the end credit really worked for me for Shang-Chi with bringing it into the bigger picture. That was a part of the reason why I was really excited about that end credit scene was because it brought it in. Because I think it deserved to be brought into the bigger picture with the whole, whatever. I don't think this is going to get brought into the bigger picture. And I think ultimately that's going to end up hurting it. So TV shows going forward, like Miss Marvel, I'm excited about because it's going to be directly tied in to the MCU, like directly. It might not be amazing. I think it looks pretty good, but like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's my opinion of Moon Knight. I'm liking it. I think the performances are amazing from everybody across the board. I just wish it was a bit higher on the levels. I think it could be. I think it could have been better. Hopefully it ends really strong. That's what I'm really excited about. I hope it wraps itself up. Because I'm not really sure when it'll pop up again. I think Blade is the closest we'll get to another maybe appearance of Moon Knight. Um,
I think sooner.
but that's where I'm at. Where are you at, Zachary?
Um, this the Marvel shows to me are the equivalent of Papa John's pizza. It's not your first choice of pizza entertainment, but you'll go there if you need to. And so each slice can either go down one or two ways. You can enjoy it or just think it's kind of just there. And to me, two out of the six slices we've had so far for Marvel have been really good. They go down easily, and I enjoyed the experience. The other four have led me to believe they'd be good, but in reality, they were just tough bites, and I never finished it anyway. But I did begrudgingly. And the two slices to me still are Loki and WandaVision. They are still the top tier. Those are the slices I'll go for every time. The other four being Falcon and Winter Soldier, What If, Hawkeye, and right now Moon Knight, they're harder to swallow because the potential there hurts me in the fact that I appreciate what they attempted for all of these, but the execution on all of them has not been where I wanted it to be.
I didn't
You
realize you
know,
didn't like Hawkeye that much.
I really didn't. I think the character study of both Clint and Kate is good, but the story around them is so generic and bare that it had nothing really to do with the MCU for me. I think Hawkeye's stuff with Black Widow is really, really good. I think Kate's character development was really good. But again, I agree with you. After sitting on it for a while, the Kingpin stuff wasn't necessary. It wasn't needed or required. It
That's not
didn't
what I
add
meant by
anything
that at all.
for
But
me. For me, it didn't.
yeah,
It
I was
didn't
just
add
putting it out there that it was not what I meant by that. But that's all.
for me. It didn't add anything. There were again cameos in there that I don't think were necessary. Um, it added some good stuff, but to me, Hawkeye got worse after each rewatch I've done so far with it. That's just me though. Moon Knight I think will be the same. I think Moon Knight's soft start to where we are now, I think will ultimately hurt in the end run because of what they're trying to do. They don't have enough time to finish it. I don't think they do at all. I think this has to end with some dramatic cliffhanger leading into another MCU project for me ultimately to care about what happens at the end of this show.
Or like a nice wrap up.
Something. Now, the one thing I won't hold against it is that I don't need every MCU movie to have some kind of basis or connection to the other stuff going on within the universe. I think that was my biggest issue with the Eternals movie was that they forced in those Captain America and Iron Man jokes and to me it didn't work. And I didn't need Moon Knight to ultimately reference back to, moments from Shang-Chi or anything like that. The closest thing we've got so far is their mention of Madripoor, and
That's what
that's
I
not even
mean.
and that's not even an MCU reference. That's an X-Men reference. That's like a
They went to
hardcore,
Madripoor.
but it's more of an X-Men than MCU reference to me when I
I
think
don't
about it.
definitely agree with that statement, but that's okay.
Um, I love I like the fact that the show tries to stand on its own without having to need the references, but I just think they chose the wrong show to try that with. I think Miss Marvel, from what it looks like, will reference too much on the MCU, and I think that might be its downfall. I think She Hulk of the three new ones, ultimately, I think will hit that ground a little bit better
So
because of the
funny.
meta commentary because of the meta commentary it's going to be doing. Um, but for Moon Knight itself, I think Ethan Hawke, Oscar Isaac, and I can never remember the girl's name, but the girl who plays
Maya
Layla.
Conway.
Thank you. Uh, to me, she is the standout of the three of them. I think both Oscar and Ethan are fantastic in this show, but to me, she's able to play a well-ranged, rounded character with two separate people playing this, being played by the same person. Like I can feel her aggravations with Mark, but I can feel her starting to fall for Steven. And she plays it off very, 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 very well. Um, I think right now what's hurting me about the show, and I hope they explain it, is the Conchu thing about the body still being able to move and function. Now, this could also lead into what happened at the end of episode 4 and the fact that, reality really isn't going on where we think it's going on or whatever. But there is a good chance this could tie into Doctor Strange in some way, shape, or form dealing with reality based stuff. Maybe. But I doubt it. Um,
I don't know. It would be kind of cool though,
mm-hmm.
just because it comes out. The final episode will premiere the day before people get to see Doctor Strange
Strange.
stateside. So it would be kind of cool, but I highly doubt it.
The only thing I could see this connecting to at all, possibly, and it's been my biggest theory for this show, is Thor. I think this could somehow connect to Thor,
Oh, because of the
being
God Butcher.
because of the gods. I think Gore could use the Egyptian gods as a way to connect to the Greek gods, and then finding a way to get to the Greek gods in Thor: Love and Thunder, ultimately leading into
I
the Midgardian stuff.
think that it could be referenced in For Love and Thunder. I don't think it's going to be referenced here. I think the gods here could be killed because
I
there's a
think they
lot of gods that are going to be killed in For
Love
Love
and
and
Thunder.
Thunder. But the gods here, I think it'd be really stupid. I think it'd be honestly really annoying as a viewer
Hmm.
if they don't reference the Egyptian gods in For Love and Thunder because we are dealing with the God Butcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know if they. I don't have to say they die, but they need to be referenced. Or I think it will be. I think I'll come out of it being like, well, that was a missed opportunity that was definitely needed because
I
they are
think I
both being developed at the same time. There's no reason
yeah
for them not to be mentioned. It'd be
I think
different. Sorry.
you're fine. I think it'd be really, really cool if at the end of the series you see either either the Necro sword coming into frame, going to the gods, or if you see a bloodied Necro sword leaving the gods' chamber, leading into what could be a Thor reference for the next movie, saying that he's going after everybody to get to Thor. I think that'd be really, really cool. But that's the only reference I can really think of. Overall, though, again, it's like Papa John's. It's going down okay, but I'm ready for that next good slice to come on through. And I think I won't get that till She-Hulk.
Which is so funny because She-Hulk will be the one that will get very, very late in the game because it's being so it's being so horribly received industry-wise. So it's going to be a hot minute before you even see She-Hulk because there's been rumors that they're going to be reshooting a bunch of it because it's being so horribly received by people on the inside. So, and that's been a rumor now for like
a while,
2 months or so. So yeah, I kind of could have told you that based on the people who are writing it and things that it probably wasn't going to go over well. But I'm not entirely sure what's not going over well in its defense. It might not be the writing. Who knows? It could be maybe she was miscast. I don't really know. Maybe they don't have the budget for it and it's really showing. Also possible. Genuinely don't know. I think personally for me, I think MCU is much better when it's being referenced in other projects. I think it's much more fascinating, much more interesting. If this is a TV show that was not a part of the MCU, I think it'd be much more interesting. I think I'd care for it much more. But because it is, and the more we develop these characters outside, which I think is necessary, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I also don't think Disney Plus shows are a bad thing to introduce new characters. I don't think that's a bad thing either. I think the problem here is that we're dealing with things that possibly could be mentioned, or how are we going to be in the MCU and not mention the MCU? I mean, it just seems a little ridiculous to me. Type of thing. Whereas every MCU movie has shown that doesn't matter what place they go to, what country they go to, they are well known and recognized. I mean, this is the first project that has not mentioned Thanos, which is also kind of crazy. And how do you not mention Thanos? 5 years of their life could have been gone. And with Moon Knight, it just seems like we're back. I mean, I'm okay with going back to the basics. Part of the reason why I like Shang-Chi so much is because it felt so different from the MCU, but I also was really happy with the tie-in, and I just don't think this is going to tie in anywhere. And I understand what they're trying to do with it, and I understand where it could be because they're trying to develop a horror division. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't think it's horrible. I'm really enjoying watching it. I just think with the amount of hype that was behind it, it's really disappointing. So I'm really hoping that they land it with the final 2 episodes, which we'll talk about in the next podcast. All right, before we close out here, Zach is gonna play a little game with me called Pick a Movie Commentary. So I have 5 movies.
So we're not doing A or D? We're not doing approve or disapprove today?
No.
Okay.
No.
Basically, May's Doctor Strange. Approve or disapprove? Yes.
No, actually, May has a few others.
And Top Gun. Approve or disapprove? It's here.
Yeah. Basically about the same.
And that's May.
Yeah, because I don't think Memory... Oh, that's April. Hold on. I'll go
Is the Mushroom Cat movie in May?
Firestarter is in May. Then we have Downton Abbey 2. Men, Top Gun Maverick, and Bob's Burgers.
Oh, so the Mushroom Cat movie is not in May. Okay.
No, Mushroom Cat?
The A24 movie.
Oh no, that's not in May.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the Jenny Slate movie is not in May. Yeah, I had to think about what you're talking about. Yeah, we saw that in theaters. We saw the trailer for that, and Dad looked at me and I was like, I thought that was a commercial. I was like, fair. That's fair. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so 1 through 5.
1 through 5.
God.
Just to put this out here, there is only one movie in this list. You haven't seen any of them, because that's the fun of this. There's only one movie in this list that I truly don't think you would like.
Okay.
You would honestly hate me for showing it to you. Not hate me, but you would not like me while watching it.
You kept holding your finger up like this, so I'm going to guess it's probably number 1.
I was just showing you one movie. But you can take that as a reference of anyway. It could be the fact that there's 4 fingers down.
Okay, so you know what? Fuck it. We went with an odd number last time, with 5 being Jennifer's body. So let's go even. I'm gonna go number 2. Shit! I did it again. I did it again.
Oh my head! Oh, I can't feel my face. Oh.
I did it again, didn't I? Is it the one I didn't want to watch?
Now, we could opt out of it if you've seen it, but I'm going to have to pick a movie that you wouldn't like on top of that. Because, like, I can't have you choose between the references. I'm going to have to pick another movie.
So what were numbers 1, 4, 3, 4, and 5?
Okay. Number 1, Underworld 5.
Okay.
We were talking about doing a movie commentary to it, so I figured this is a good time to pop it in. Number 3 is Uncharted. We'll own it on Tuesday. So, might as well. You've not seen it yet. Number 4 is Charlie's Angels 2019, a movie I genuinely think you'll enjoy, but you won't let me make you watch. So here's a good force. Then number 5 is Little Lemon, because another movie you will not watch.
You tried this last week too.
I know. I have tried. It's gonna be it.
So what's number 2?
Number 2 is a movie Peyton recommended, not me.
I got a burp out of me. That's scarier.
Peyton recommended it, and I had never thought about watching it with you. But we were talking about disturbing films.
Oh no.
And I'm like, I'm not sure if he's seen it. If he's seen it, then we're not going to watch it because I don't want to put myself through it again. But if he hasn't seen it, I'll put myself through it again. Have you seen a movie from like 2009, 2011? It's a horror film.
That's a really broad gap for you to ask that question.
Called Splice?
No.
God damn it.
What the hell is that?
You'll find out this week. Next week.
Jacob, I've done it to you again.
So I'm gonna share the screen. You can't see it, but this is my list of 5. These are 5 different movies. I didn't want you to think I'm lying to you. You happen to pick Splice, which is this one. Okay, I'm just gonna. Maybe if you see the picture, maybe you will tell me you have seen it. This would totally be a movie that you would watch somebody else watching, not like you would sit down to watch.
Gotcha.
No, I want this. So, any of that ring a bell?
No.
Okay. Then that's what we're gonna watch. I was really hoping for like Charlie's Angels or Little Women. Genuinely did not want to watch Splice. Was not on my list of movies that I wanted to rewatch anytime soon in my life.
To be fair, you did this to yourself.
I did it because it's more fun to make you uncomfortable. But I did try to give you options of not uncomfortable. I even gave you a new release.
I know, but you know, I felt, you know, it was a 1 in 5 shot in the dark with the last one being an odd number, so I was like, let's go for the 1 in 5 shot being an even number.
Also, you had to pick the one movie I'm going to have to rent. None of the other movies we owned. We owned them all. Owned them or going to own them all, I will say. But this one, no. I'm gonna have to pay the $2.99.
Oh, I'm sorry, $3.
Oh, trust me, he will be sorry.
Is it too late to opt for a change?
Genetic engineers Clive Nikolai and Elsa Cassell. I just want you to have an idea. Hope to achieve fame by successfully splitting their DNA together of different animals to create a new hybrid of a being. And we'll see if that goes well or not. It's a horror film, so
I'm guessing
you can take that as you will. This is a sci-fi horror film that scarred me and Peyton. So.
And Peyton recommended this?
Well, she didn't recommend it. She happened to bring it up in conversation. I was like, "Oh, that'd be a fun one to put Zachary through." And she's like, "Oh yeah, that would be a really fun one to put Zachary through." And now we're here, so can't really do anything about that. If you had to pick
I
the
can't
fucking
believe
number two.
I can't believe I did it again. Okay, so next time I pick commentaries, we're doing 1 through 5, and I want to see what I can put you through that you wouldn't think that I would put you through.
That's
There's
perfectly
a lot.
fine.
There's a lot I could put you through.
In my defense, I gave you great options, one bad option. Once again, I gave you great options before and one bad option. Not my fault. You have horrible choice making skills.
Hey, and how did Jennifer's Body end up? It ended up like a pretty good time.
That's great. Jennifer's
Splice
Body
won't end that way.
is a genuinely good movie. Splice is not a genuinely good movie. It's really well made in its defense. At least we're not going to be disappointed. It just goes places that has a 37% audience score with 250,000 ratings on Rotten Tomato. It's a 4.9 on IMDb and a 2.3 on Letterboxd. A 75% on Rotten Tomato from the critics, though. It doesn't take its terrific premise quite as far as it should, but Splice is a smart and well-acted treat for horror fans.
Oh, the acting's good in it?
Oh, yeah, it is good. Yeah.
Who's the stars?
We have Adrian Brody, and Sarah
Ooh.
Polley. The other name you're not going to recognize until you see the face of Adrian Brody. Obviously, you do know.
Yeah.
The director is Vincenzo Natali. I don't think. No, he has made other things. Oh, and The Tall Grass. So he never really got out of the. Oh, Cube. Do you remember Cube?
Cube.
That's the one where they're stuck in the cube and they get all sliced and individually,
Oh yeah.
really old. 1990s. That old?
Yeah. Cube.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna watch Splice.
All right.
Lovely. That's just what I wanted to hear today. I was really hoping for Charlie's Angels or Little Women. Honestly, so close.
Wait, you still would have been upset with Uncharted or Underworld?
No, I wanted to rewatch Underworld. Honestly, I'm just not happy with this sequel choice that I shouldn't have thrown in there. Honestly, should have picked Hostel. Would have had a better time. Here we are.
Jacob, you would have laughed even harder if it was Hostel. Because I've told myself for years I'd never put myself through that movie. Years. I've done pretty good about it too.
Yeah, but I'm going to say Hostel is at least a little bit less disturbing.
Again.
In my
coming
opinion.
From you.
In my opinion. Not many movies walk out and scar me. I think that's important to remember. This was one of those movies that me and Peyton genuinely think about as we were watching as little kids and being like, that was a choice. That was a big-ass choice they made for letting us watch this as a child.
All right, well...
I've not seen it since 2010, so it might not be as bad as my brain remembers because I was young. It could be a walk in the park and it could be a breeze. But if I remember correctly, I don't think it's a breeze. It could be I don't think it is. But we'll find out. Zachary picked another horror film. Zachary did, not me. I think it's more fun this way. Picking 5 movies that you want to watch.
Oh, believe me, I already have 5 films that I can think of.
But remember, I do pick 4.
3 that I know you're gonna want to watch.
Yeah, I do pick movies. I do pick
the
movies
other 2.
that you do want to watch. I always just put an outlier in there. I just want to make sure that's important for everybody to understand.
It is important. But these other 2.
So if he picks 5 movies I don't like, that's not fair because then we're gonna get real brutal with this competition, and it's not gonna be good. None of us are gonna enjoy any movies that we watch, and that's just the moral of the story. And we don't want that.
No,
one bad movie here or there is fine.
Yeah.
Bad movie after bad movie means no more movie commentary.
Okay.
Oh, also would like to mention, last thing is that we're going to announce it here. The next thing you guys will see from us will actually be a movie commentary itself. Supposedly, maybe, possibly, of Star Wars The Phantom Menace.
So if you didn't think Splice would be a good time, come and watch episode 1.
I've yet to decide if I want to start down this journey or not, and we'll find out here within the next like
No,
10 days.
no. You just decided. You announced it on the podcast. It's
I
a
said,
thing now.
I said maybe, possibly, no confirmations. Wording is important. Wrap this shit up. We've been live for too long.
We're longer than the Batman. Thank you guys very much for coming in and watching and listening to the Weekend Movie Roast podcast. A lot's happened in the past 3 hours. A lot of laughs, a lot of tears, a lot of choices were made on my part. So we will see y'all next time you guys see us. We'll be watching another horror film that apparently I've chosen. See y'all next time. Like, rate, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell. Leave a comment. And